is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Rev Sports Wrap It Up. I am Josh, alongside the lovely Soul.
Hello.
Guys, there wasn't a full moon, there wasn't an eclipse, but there was an equinox. And it happened a couple days ago for anyone that's reported on this show before, or about last week. All four major sports happens basically once a year where everything overlaps. Right around this time, where all four sports are playing at the exact same time. We happen on Monday, which means we got a lot to talk about today. So before we get into all that fun stuff, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I have a different background. I'm in Marco Island right now. But yeah, a lot of sports to talk about. A lot of arrest to talk about.
People stop being stupid. Okay? that's the name of the show. Stop being stupid. Brought to you by us two jabronis.
So we will be our lovely selves where we're making fun and having, but then we will have some serious moments this episode because we got some, we have to use our alleged and our actual journalistic voices in some of these stories, and then we get to go back to being stupid with the other stories. Yeah,
there will be a couple of trigger warnings through this, as we always do. Just to give you all heads up, if we have to go over these stories, as we always say. Or else we wouldn't be doing justice to the cases as they are ongoing. But what is ongoing right now is the World Series. And I think Game 3 is done. I believe.
Yeah, Game 3.
Whatever it was. I don't know. They all melded together because one took 18 innings. I tried personally to stay up for it. I got to about the 15th inning. I was like, all right, dude, I can't do this.
So you missed the other walk-off.
Right. I miss good old Freddie Freeman. But before that happened, we had other games that also took place. And the Blue Jays, surprisingly, took game 1 11-4. Trey Savage was the starting pitcher for the Blue Jays in game 1. And if you don't know who he is, that's okay, because not many people did before game 1. We kind of alluded to it before. Savage makes $57,000 a year and started the game by striking out Shohei Ohtani, who makes 824 times his salary. Now, you may be asking, how can he make so little? Well, Savage started this season in Single A ball. In April of this year, he was playing for the Single A Dunedin. I'm hoping I get that right. It's an American town. Shout out
or to Canadian.
Canadian, yeah, could be. But shout out to Dunedin Blue Jays. Then in May, promoted to the High A Vancouver Canadians. Then in June, was promoted to Double A New Hampshire Fisher Cats. Now the Fisher Cats is a cool name. Then in August, was promoted to Triple A Buffalo Bisons. Come on, be more creative with that. Come on. That's too basic on that. Then in September, he made his major league debut for the Blue Jays. At 22 years and 88 days old, Savage became the second youngest Game 1 starting pitcher in the World Series history, older than only Ralph Branca, 21 years, 267 days in 1947. Then the Dodgers said, hold on, the Dodgers were better than you. And they took Game 2, 5-1. And then
the game of all games.
The game of all games, which this game took 18 innings. This is the second time in World Series history that a game has gone 18 innings. It ties this World Series record. But we have a slide here of the craziest stat or coincidence, I don't know, that's happened. And it's not even a baseball player. It's not a statistical baseball. It is a musician, all right? Country music star Brad Paisley sang the national anthem on both of them. Both of them. So this is nuts. Of the games that he sung the national anthem for, they've all gone to extra innings. It's been 4.
So he needs to stop singing the national anthem at these games.
But I don't know. I mean, just he motivates them so much that no one wants to lose. I'll put it that way. How about that?
Yeah.
He does it so well. Now, Brad's not he's not the Chris Stapleton national anthem. He's not the Whitney Houston national anthem, but he's remembered for a national anthem now because of just weird situation that happened. He's a great guitar player, by the way. He's amazing. I saw him live. He's really good. But that's a crazy stat. But getting into the game itself, this is 18 innings worth of stuff, so fun. But let's just start off with what actually happened. And good old Freddie Freeman surprisingly hit a walk-off. He's never done that before except for last year. But we got the video of it.
11:50 in Los Angeles. Freeman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the catch strikes me. Freddie Freeman has ended it. It's a repeat hero with the last word on a Game 3 classic.
I'm going to just talk over the music a little bit right now just so we don't get in trouble.
No copyright.
No copyright.
Don't get us. You two don't get us. Whoop, whoop. All right. That's my corny ass shit. Anyway, during the game, this game lasted 6 hours and 39 minutes, and so many records were broken. 18 innings is tied for the longest World Series, as we alluded to before, in MLB history. Shohei Ohtani, you know him? He's kind of good at baseball. Was intentionally walked 4 times, the most in a single game in MLB postseason history. There's actually a video of like all the greats in a box, and they're like sitting there like counting 4 of him walking. Like a Jeter was in the box. There was a Justin Fields. Fielder was in the box. Victor Rentione. How do I pronounce this?
Josh remembering names.
Yeah. Surprisingly. But yeah, there's a lot of greats were just crazy about what Shohei was doing. He also set the World Series record for the most times getting on base. Ohtani broke the record after his 7th time on base, and he ended up reaching a total of 9 times. He also tied MLB's regular season record by reaching base 9 times. Ohtani also became the first player since 1906 to record 4 extra base hits in a World Series game, having hit 2 home runs and 2 doubles before the Blue Jays opted out of pitching to him altogether. The Dodgers and Blue Jays combined to strand 37 runners on base, the most ever in a postseason game. The two teams also used a total of 19 pitchers, 9 for Toronto and 10 for LA, which is the most in a playoff game in league history. Those pitchers combined to throw 609 pitches, which is, you guessed it, a World Series record. Additionally, there were a total of 153 plate appearances across the 18-inning affair, also a record for the Fall Classic. As stated before, the game took a total of 6 hours and 39 minutes. From start to finish, making it the second longest World Series game in history behind Game 3 of the 2018 World Series, which spanned 7 hours and 20 minutes. Freeman's walk-off home run in the 18th inning made him the first player to ever hit multiple walk-off home runs in the World Series. He hit a walk-off grand slam in Game 1 of the 2024 World Series against the Yankees. And for those who don't know, I know you Yankee fans love it, but as soon as he hit it, he just dropped the mic for that one last year.
And it was a grand slam, too.
Yeah, it was. And, man, you Atlanta Braves fans are like, why? He wanted to be.
Atlanta didn't want to pay him.
Yeah. It also had to do something with his agent wanted him to go to LA. It's a big thing. But, yeah, at the end of the day, Dodgers just paid him more money. This game had a bit of everything. Clayton Kershaw made his 12th inning relief appearance and worked his way out of a bases-loaded jam. Ohtani wasn't retired at the plate a single time, though he was thrown out stealing second. Neither starting pitcher made it out of the 5th inning, and the bullpens, often considered the weakness of both teams, took the reins for more than 13 innings. I'm exhausted just reading all that. I try. Trust me, I'm a night owl. I try to get through it. I couldn't do it. I did get to see Kershaw's inning, and he came in. I'm like, what are you doing? This is like one of the greatest pitchers of our generation. What are you doing? Why are you going to leave his legacy as? Remember when you gave a grand slam, in Game 3? I was like, don't do it. But Kershaw came through. The shot of his wife, she could tell she aged 5 years. Aged 5 years with all the nerves that she was doing. So that was pretty. I mean, again, this is how you cannot be romantic about baseball type of game. But we're not the only ones that had to watch this game. Other people did too. And here's what it felt like.
It is 12 in the morning. Why are you still awake?
Because we're watching the game. Yeah, dude. 13th inning.
It's Monday. You have work tomorrow.
Actually, technically, it's Tuesday.
Okay. You have work today.
Yeah, I do.
And you have class in 7 hours.
Yeah, sure do.
So why are you still up?
Because this is quite literally the greatest baseball game I've ever watched in my life.
I know, but dude, you literally work in 6 hours.
I'm texting back and forth with my entire office right now.
Okay, But you have class.
Yeah, maybe. What do you mean, maybe? Professor said if it goes to the 16th inning, he's canceling class.
You know what? Just let me know when Otani's up to bat.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Oh, dude, he's up to bat right now.
Okay, I gotta see this.
They walked him again. So you guys are staying up, watching them intentionally walk Shohei Otani.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you don't regret it at all.
Nah, this is the greatest experience of my life.
It is.
That's nuts. And then to wrap it all up, the Blue Jays did tie the series, winning game 4, 6-2. Now, Shohei was on the mound
Yep.
in that game. Shohei likes to sleep 12 hours. I saw that. So that being such a late game, he was on pace 9 times. I mean, he probably was a little bit out of his routine. I was thinking maybe, but they did that there. And then as a score check right now, it is 5-1 Blue Jays, the top of the 7th, 2 outs, but bases are loaded. So we could have more runs. And of course, the way the bats work for the Dodgers and the game going 18 innings, this has been a World Series. This has been a World Series. This is delivered. We thought it was David versus Goliath in the situation. Now, granted, the Blue Jays aren't some scrappy no-name team. I mean, they got dudes. They don't have Dodgers payroll dudes. I mean, they literally
They also got a single A pitcher,
right? Like literally won game 1 with a dude that started single A making less than a lot of people. Much less Shohei Otani. I think Shohei. I want to know the seconds on when like him on the mound to when Shohei already beat his like already.
I shouldn't be making the same amount of money as a starting World Series pitcher.
Well. She is not happy about the World Series. Okay, not happy about the World Series at all.
That was my mother.
Yeah.
She went in to show me a video.
Okay, all right. So they've heard me talk enough about the World Series, and we've heard your mother talk about the World Series. What do you think about this World Series going on?
One thing, and I was watching the game today, and they were talking about Trey Yusevich because he was also pitching today, and they were saying that he lives in a hotel in Toronto because he just showed up in September, and that every time they have an away game, he has to check out of the hotel and put all his shit in his car. And then I literally the first thought was like, the Blue Jays can't get him a fucking apartment? Like, come on now. They're probably paying for his hotel. Might as well just get him an apartment so he doesn't have to live out of his car, basically, as a homeless man in Toronto, living hotel to hotel.
Well, if the Blue Jays end up pulling it off, I don't think Trey's going to be
he will get a good contract next year, definitely.
He'll get a good contract for sure.
But the fact that he's living out of a hotel, I find hilarious.
I kind of hope because they do have hotel rooms in Blue Jays Stadium. Like they have thing of like, where are you going to watch the game? And they literally pull the curtain back and they're in the outfield. Yeah. Like they have it there. I'm like, I wonder they're like, no, that's going to cost us money. We can't have our starting pitcher
at our hotel stadium.
Just like, dude, he would have no excuse if he was late for anything if he stayed in one of those hotels.
Definitely not.
Shout out to Trey. You earned yourself a lot of money.
Yes, definitely. The other, Freddie Freeman, is good at baseball. Shohei Otani, he's good at baseball. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he's good at baseball.
Yeah. Mookie Betts, not his best outing. He was like 1 for 8 in that one.
Yeah. But you know what? Mookie has won me a chip for Boston Red Sox, so I will always love Mookie Betts. We know Mookie Betts slander in this house. Yeah. But yeah, and the other thing, also former Red Sox, Kike Hernandez, they were 3-0 Blue Jays up. Kike got the first run for the Dodgers. He hit a home run. So, it's been a very interesting series, very fun to watch. And the fact that we had history there in game 3, and it looks like we're going to continue making history. It seems like the Dodgers are probably just going to be in the World Series forever now, with the way that they are handling their pay. Unless we have a lockout, which we probably will in 2027. We shall see. We'll talk about another lockout later, but Yeah, these are some fun World Series, and I don't understand how someone like Tushka cannot love baseball, because how can you not be romantic about baseball? This
Yeah.
World Series is very romantic.
It's just something about playoff baseball. Like I'm a broken record when it comes to it. It's just something different about it. And when it's good, it's great. I mean, that obviously that 18 inning was nuts. I don't think I'm not gonna say spoiled, but we don't realize what we have in front of us with Shohei Ohtani.
Right.
Like 50 years from now, we're gonna be like, I don't think we realize just how good he is right now.
And he, like, I'm not gonna put him at the status just yet, but he could reach Messi status in the way that Argentinians feel about Messi and the way that the world feels about Messi watching him play. You're seeing the way Japan feels about Shohei Ohtani. So he might like match Messi there and just like an entire country's adoration. Worldwide, the amount of money the Dodgers have made just by having Shohei Ohtani on their team, he's getting into legendary status of sports icons.
Yeah. I mean, the LA hat and the Yankee hat sell just because of the logo itself. They don't even know what it represents. I mean, even Americans sometimes have New York or LA hats, and I'm like, oh, you're a Dodgers fan.
I
They're
was
like,
in
"No."
Dublin. There was selling green and orange New York Yankees hats, and I
Yeah.
was like, why?
Yeah, just people see it as like a fashion thing, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was like, no, I'll wear a Yankees hat if I was a Yankees fan, which this will not be a Yankees head. I mean, this head will not be wearing a Yankees hat.
Ever wear a Yankees hat.
Hello.
Ever. Hey, Brennan.
Hey, Brennan. But yeah, this has lived up to the hype, and it'd be interesting to see if Toronto wins it, because they can't win at hockey. Toronto. Let's just give me a Toronto Maple Leafs counter. But that's it for rounding the bases. We actually got through it. It didn't take us 6 hours to get the rundown of baseball. But shout out to Shohei Ohtani, the Toronto Blue Jays, Freddie Freeman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the two managers, Trey Savage, just giving us just an excellent World Series so far.
Yep. Is it time though, Josh?
Hit the button.
Fucking hug it, chug it, football.
We're almost halfway through.
All right.
I don't want it to end, but it does. Just as quickly as it gets here, it's kind of gone. But we do have a lot to go over. The Chargers beat the Vikings 37-10. The Dolphins beat the Falcons 34-10. Ravens beat the Bears 30-16. Jets beat the Bengals, got off the schneid. There is no winless teams in the NFL, 39-38. Of course, it's the Bengals. The Bills beat the Panthers 40-9. Texans beat the 49ers 26-15. Patriots beat the Browns 32-13. Eagles beat the Giants 38-20. Buccaneers beat the Saints 23-3. Colts beat the Titans 38-14. Broncos beat the Cowboys 44-24. Packers beat the Steelers at the Aaron Rodgers finally plays the Steelers again 35-25. And then the Chiefs beat the Commanders 28-7. Now, where people are sitting out there saying, man, those are some lopsided scores, you are correct. And this is actually the most lopsided score weekend since like the 1970s. In the NFL, which is insane there. But you know who was part of that on the right side of that lopsided game? The Miami Dolphins.
Then
You want throwing 4 touchdowns?
the Dolphins and the Jets won this week.
Yeah. Now that makes sense because the Bengals defense is trash. But Atlanta's shown promise.
And this is one of those, my dad was joking and my older brother, they were like, these are two franchises that are probably pissed off that they won this week because we're fighting for draft picks.
Yeah. It's like that it's like the episode of South Park where they didn't want to play Little League, so they kept trying to throw the game and they're like, what are you doing? I don't want to play anymore. But incentives and I don't know what else, but I just don't know what's going on with the Falcons. It is literally like Kirk Cousins played, and Kirk Cousins isn't good anymore. I mean, Michael Penix was out, so that's mainly what happened. But still, the Dolphins have looked so inept, and it felt like they quit last week. So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
just such a weird
I was
thing.
just like, wait, we won? Because I didn't even watch this game because I'm not watching the Dolphins anymore. I've decided to not watch them anymore this year. And the game that I decide to not watch them is the game that they win.
Right.
But the interesting game, obviously, this week is the Aaron Rodgers Bowl, the Packers versus the Steelers. And my family, we were thinking the Steelers were going to win. We put the game on. Aaron Rodgers throws a Hail Mary, basically, in the first, like, what his first few throws. And we're just like, oh, he's back.
Yeah. The sad part about this game was Aaron played fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he still got it 41, 42 years old. Like despite what you think of him personally, which you have all right to judge him on that situation for what we
Yeah.
see, but there is no mistaking how good he is. This is, to me, until number 15 on in Kansas City finally shows it. To me, he is the best pure passer I've ever seen of a football. As far as accuracy and all of that. And just I know Tom Brady is the GOAT. I'm not going to deny it. He's the greatest. He's the most accomplished player I've ever seen. But he's not as good as and Brady's even come out and said this, by the way.
Everyone has different skills. Like, you can
Right.
still be the GOAT and someone else has a skill set that's better than yours.
And Aaron Rodgers is the best pure passer I've ever seen of a football. That being said, the Packers can't keep getting away with this of just having a good quarterback for the next 12 years. I just said it, forget it. We got a guy. Like, they can't keep doing
Your
this.
family must be so happy.
This was the year. This was finally they were going to finally take a step back, and no, they don't. And for those who don't know just how good Jordan Love is, he tied a franchise record for the most consecutive completed passes in this game. He tied Brett Favre for the most completed passes without an interception or drop ball or anything or incompletion or anything like that. He did that this game, which bears the point of the Steelers have the highest paid defense, and they suck. They let Jamar Chase do whatever he wanted. And their offense just couldn't keep up. And he felt like, they make corrections. And this is a Steelers defense. It's not like Mike Tomlin just showed up yesterday and became the coach. He is the longest tenured coach next to Harbaugh at the Ravens.
Do you think that he'll still stay because they've been at that just coasting level for so long?
There's nothing that, because they still could win. And if they give up the division this year, like if the Ravens figure it out and get healthy and figure out their defense and all this stuff and make it, possibly. But as long as he stays over 500, I know Steelers fans are just how, and we'll get to college.
He's not bad enough to fire, but he's not good enough to keep at the moment.
He's never been below 500 in his career, which is insane. That it spans, I think, 16, 17, almost 20 years that he's been the head coach of the Steelers, right around there, and he's never been below 500, which is nuts. Especially when the "What have you done for me lately?" I mean, what have you done for me lately? Like, too extreme as far as football, being a head coach of a professional sports team, much less college sports team, which we'll get to here in a second. But they're also right now trying to coerce Aaron to stay a couple years because, for one, they really didn't take a quarterback in the draft. They don't have any understudy. So
they just want a 40-something-year-old to just be their quarterback forever.
No, it's kind of tough to do because we thought this was kind of Aaron's like, all right, we'll just do it once with the Steelers. But because, he was terrible with the Jets, we figure out it's the Jets. It's not technically the player. And no, it's Aaron still got it.
Every player is terrible with the Jets.
Yeah, I just think it's the Jets. It's not the players. Even though, shout out to Justin Fields and that Jets team for rallying and beating the Bengals. That being said, the Bengals defense is still trash on that. And why do we even talk about the other teams? Because we already know the inevitable. The Chiefs are going to win it. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. Whatever.
Hey, they didn't win the Super Bowl last year, so.
But they always go to it. I think it's been 6-7 years in a row, something like that.
You never know. It could change.
Yeah, it could, but
it could.
The way they look right now, no, it's not going to be changing anytime soon. The Chiefs look really good. And then my Cowboys had an off game. No big deal. Whatever. Our
Just
defense
one-off game.
Just one off game. In the college world, Ole Miss beat OU 34-26 at OU. Bama did have a scare against South Carolina, but pulled out the victory. Vandy, who had college game day there. Vandy, good at football. It wasn't just a fluke last year. Like, they're legit good at football.
How many times are they going to throw their post into the river?
Not anytime soon. They have beaten 2 ranked teams on their field this year, and not once have they beat LSU, which we'll get to in a second. And they beat Missouri, and they acted like, this is what we're supposed to do. Like, okay, like, shout out to Vandy. Diego Pavia, their quarterback, will probably be in the Heisman talk, just because of how electric he is. But I don't see him winning it unless something crazy should happen. Memphis, you lost last week to a 2-win, just fired their coach UAB team. What do? You beat South Florida 34-31, and they came back to win that in the fourth quarter. Washington upsets Illinois 42-25. Houston beat Arizona State, who just came off that crazy upset against Texas Tech, and they lost at home to Houston 24-16. Texas had a crazy comeback to beat Mississippi State in OT. I think they were down 17 points with 10 minutes left in the fourth, and they still came back and won overtime. So that's just Mississippi State. And Arch Manning is not good. But the crazy thing is LSU at home lost 49-25. And what do they do? Fire Brian Kelly. Thanks, but no thanks. They did fire Brian Kelly. And typically, when a coach gets fired, you normally hear some other people being like, I like the guy. You say just somebody comes out and would say, nice things about him, but it just didn't work out. Brad Kelly's just a full-on douche. If you didn't think so, this is the first time you heard of his name, look him up. And this is it doesn't matter how big of a douche or a bad person you are. If you win football games, you will get a job. And because there was a time where when he was before he went to Notre Dame, there's a story of these 2 grad assistants. He was having a party. The grad assistants, he invited the grad assistants there. So when the grad assistants show up to the party, they go to the guest list and say, "Oh, my name's on the guest list." No, they're part of the workers list. He put them to work at this function that he was throwing. There was something that happened at Notre Dame. I forget that incident. They said something about, might have been when the kid fell off. The video recorder fell off and he just didn't care. If I'm getting my stories mixed up, please let me know. I don't mean to. That story I know is for sure.
So Brian Kelly, bad guy.
Yeah, just a bad dude. Like, he just didn't care about anyone. All he cared about was winning football games and making money. You always hear stories about like the coach always did this, like with James Franklin, like he always would still check in on players and stuff. There's a kid who had for LSU, he was a pretty big time player, and he had to get a brain tumor removed. And because he did that, unfortunately he couldn't play anymore. He's kind of, it messed with a lot of his function, and he couldn't, like, it's hard for him to talk. And Brian Kelly didn't care. He didn't even reach out to him once. Like, it's just, come on. Like, they're supposed to be like when you go to a school and you're recruiting, part of the things that you always hear, I don't have a child that old to go to college, much less that. So I should have done it the opposite way, but you get my point.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. But typically,
neither of us have children, and neither of us are old enough to have college-age children. There you go.
Exactly.
Josh,
there
I did that
Thank
for
you.
you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But typically during those recruiting trips, like, you are trusting this person as if they would protect them like you would protect you as a parent would protect your child. And the fact that it was just a business proposition, which to some college kids nowadays it is, but it was just another number on his roster and not the person. And that's what is kind of sickening.
You have coaches that all they care about is winning and nothing else. And then you have the player coaches, and then you have coaches that like that they can't coach you unless they know you as a person. All different types of coaches. I would rather have a coach that's more personable if I was a player, but to each their own.
Right. Yep. To each their own. But Brian Kelly is going to get a job. His buyout's ridiculous. I think it was in the 65 or something like that range. So he don't have to do anything, but I'm pretty sure he's probably too egotistical. He's got to be somewhere in the limelight of some sort.
We shall see.
But it just never worked out. Like he started changing his accent to sound more Southern. It should have worked because of how much success he's always had at every stop. Cincinnati, Notre Dame, now LSU, and it just never seemed to click. But that brings me to the craziest thing is before the season's even ended, Florida, LSU, Penn State, Virginia Tech, and Oklahoma State have all let their coaches go. You have arguably, you can argue it, but 3 top 10 programs looking for a coach. And with the buyouts, with the way they are, and you are going to have to pay these college if you want to go for a whale, okay? And that's because the thing is with the AD what the AD has in their the problem is the fan bases of they're all 3 top 10 programs, and I'm talking Florida, LSU, and Penn State. Virginia Tech, they might go get Shane Beamer, the son that created Beamer Ball at Virginia Tech, but I don't know about that. And then Oklahoma State, Gundy just made them. I mean, they've always been good, but Gundy really made them like championship worthy as far as at least Big 12 is concerned. But they're not the Florida, Penn States, and LSU's of the world, especially not LSU. I would say LSU is the top of those other 2 that I said, and they are going to want to whale. And if you go and get, even if they got even a Power 5, if they even got the coach at Georgia Tech, who are undefeated right now, if they went and got him, they would not be happy about it. They want Lane Kiffin. They want Nick Saban, which Saban has coached there before. You're gonna make the call. But I just don't get how you can, unless it's Nick Saban, I don't see how you can pay what they're having to pay to get a Lane Kiffin or a Sarkisian away from those top big programs.
And usually a lot more times these programs or even professional teams find success when they do pick a random person. Look at Eric Spoelstra, who now that Pop is retired, we can call Eric Spoelstra the best coach in the NBA. I will now, as a Miami Heat fan, I always would give it to Pop first because Pop was still coaching. Yeah. But now that Pop is retired, the best active coach is Eric Spoelstra. He started in the video room with and I find that when you do pick that diamond in the rough, whether it is a player or a coach, kind of that's when you can get. So going to get the Georgia Tech coach will probably be better for the program than getting some big name that you're going to have to pay millions and millions of dollars for. But a lot of times these programs are not smart about that. They'd rather get the big name than get the person that would probably be better for their program. So it'll be interesting to see what track they take.
Yeah.
Because winning cures all.
Oh,
and
yeah.
if you get someone that's a no-name and they go undefeated or they win a lot or they win you a championship, then no one's going to give a shit that he was a nobody before he came to your program.
I mean, there are people out there who's I don't care if he committed murder, he wins football games. This was way lower, and it's put allegedly stuff, but Ohio State fans were protesting outside when Urban Meyer was coming under heat because one of his assistant coaches and a bunch of just bad stuff going on. Penn State fans with the Joe Paterno stuff, look it up. Now, granted, he wasn't the guy that did the deed, but he, guilty by association type thing. But Joe Paul's a different situation in that. But to the point of what you're saying earlier as well is Notre Dame hired from within. Marcus Freeman was on that staff, and they realized he was a player's coach. And he took them to the national. Now it was a little rocky there for a couple of years, but then he took them to the national championship. They still look good this year. they were like, oh, their defense is bad. I think Texas A&M's offense is just that good. Which that coach is in his second year. Steve Elko was at Duke. So when I brought up like a Georgia Tech, like sometime now they were going to hire Mark Stoops from Kentucky, and then the Texas A&M were just like, no. And then when we got Steve Elko, like, all right, I like his style. I mean, if you can win at Duke, you should be able to win at Texas A&M with all those resources. So yeah, they are going to make those calls. It's going to overwhelm the media, especially since they've let them, Penn State, Florida, and LSU. It's going to be interesting to see, because if they go like Penn State might go get Matt Rule, well, then that opens up Nebraska, which is a top program as far as resources and stuff of that nature. They'll go, it's just a lynch, like, where's the snowball going to start? And what's going to end up there? But yeah, I don't know.
We got a score update from Justin here. Blue Jays up 6-1 on the Dodgers in the 8th. Looking good for Toronto. It is looking good for Toronto.
Looking good for Toronto. I think LA exhausted everything they had against for Game 3.
We shall see what Game 6 looks like.
Yeah, shall see. But in really, really sad news. Nick Mangle, former New York Jets center great, unfortunately died of the age of 41 from kidney disease complications. He was diagnosed in 2006 with this rare kidney disease. He took to social media on October 14th asking for a kidney and died just 11 days later. I actually did see a video of him. He went on Barstool Yak because he's been on there frequently, and he was saying, how he kind of jumped on there like 10 days ago, right, like 10 days before his death, and they were kind of joking around with him. But he was doing dialysis for 3 days a week. And he seemed in good spirits, but that was right like the day after they posted saying, hey, I need a kidney. And what made me scared about when he did that is because the last time I remember that was when Walter Payton needed a liver. And Walter Payton didn't last very long after that either. So a lot of times when they are posting these things, it's kind of a Hail Mary in that situation. But this one hurts because you talk about like how we were talking, how Brian Kelly was. This is the Yang to whatever that is. Because this dude was awesome. Like, he's one of those people that's like, you didn't know that he was one of the best centers. Like Jason Kelsey has even said, like, people were saying you're the best center I've ever seen. He goes, did you ever watch Nick Mangold? As far as just him as a player, but he was even a better person than he was a player. And this is a Hall of Fame guy. To me, he'll probably get in. He might not have been like a first ballot or anything. He probably should be. I think he's up for it this year or next year. He'll definitely get in as first ballot because of just post. Yeah. Was it post? How you pronounce it? Posthumously. Thank you for that. But some of his, his 4 kids, just
yeah.
If you didn't see the outcry from everyone all over.
41, 40 young's really young.
Yeah.
I know that we're in our 30s. I'm at the beginning stage of my 30s. He's at the end stage of his 30s. And we joke about how we feel old all the time. Yeah. But 41 is really young.
Yeah, it's really young. And it just sucks. Because, Nick was – I watched a bunch of stuff with Nick. Literally 6-7 months ago, he was doing a case race with Barstool. Like this it's a 2-hour video, and he's dressed up as a Nickelodeon character, like doing it. Like he just loved living life, and he loved his kid. He's a family man, and he would if you needed something, it was like, hey, Nick, can you jump on here? There's a video of PK Subban like doing when he first started getting into the media. The first person, he was at a New York Jets game. It's a video, you can look it up, and he was saying like, hey, this is my first time doing that. I think Subban posted the video of him interviewing Nick and like hyping up the Jets game. And he was telling Nick off camera, he's like, I'm super nervous. I don't know how I'm screwed up. And Nick was just like, no, we got this. Don't worry about it. And like Nick kind of helped him through and kind of helped PK. So that's just obviously countless stories like that. And that's just the kind of guy he is. And it just freaking sucks.
Yeah. It's when the good die young.
Yeah.
It sucks.
freaking great song by Billy Joel, but that's good. I hate it when it's true.
Yeah.
For those who don't know of his accolades, he was a 2-time first-team All-Pro, second-team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowl, PFWA All-Rookie Team, New York Jets Ring of Honor. That was in 2022. He was a national champion at Ohio State, first-team All-American, and second-team All-Big Ten. And he was the heart and soul. Rex Ryan got really emotional on Sunday Countdown about it because he was his coach for a lot of his career. And there's a thing about Rex was saying how Nick Mangold got the big contract while he was coach there. And he was like, as a coach, you're thinking once they get the big contract, they might, be content, the money might change the person. He was like, so I pulled in a Taco Bell. Who's right in front of me? Nick Mangold, like right after he signed his big contract. So that was just kind of like a funny story there. But if you don't know who Nick Mangold is, I encourage you all to look up anything with Nick Mangold, because the only thing you're going to be doing at the end of the video is smiling.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. So moving on to another great, but he's in a little trouble.
This is our arrested portion.
Yeah, this is our arrested portion. Ex-NFL star Adrian Peterson was asleep in SUV before a DWI arrest. Which you don't know, he was arrested for DWI, like 6 months ago, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Former NFL running back Adrian Peterson arrested on charge of driving while intoxicated and unlawfully carrying a weapon after police found him asleep behind the wheel of his SUV at a suburban Houston gas station, according to court reports. Police in Sugar Land found Peterson around 9 a.m. on Sunday asleep at his vehicle was running and parked near a gas pump, according to probable cause affidavit. No one else was in the vehicle. Quote, I interviewed Mr. Peterson and detected the odor of an alcoholic beverage emanating from his person. I also observed Mr. Peterson had bloodshot, glossy eyes and slurred speech, according to the affidavit. I asked Mr. Peterson where he was coming from, and he stated a poker game in Houston. Peterson told an officer he didn't know where he was and had been trying to get to his home in nearby Missouri City. Peterson told the officer he had consumed 2 to 3 shots of vodka mixed several hours earlier. According to the affidavit, I asked Mr. Peterson for a scale of 0 being completely sober to 10 being intoxicated to the point of blacking out, where he would rate himself. Mr. Peterson stated he was a 2, according to the affidavit. During a search of Peterson's SUV, the officer found a Glock handgun in the glove compartment. It's the second DWI arrest in 7 months for the 2012 NFL MVP and 3-time league rushing champion. Peterson was released from the Fort Bend County Jail on Monday after posting bonds totaling $3,000. Court records did not list an attorney who could speak on Peterson's behalf. Peterson, 40, was a high school football star in East Texas and has lived in the Houston area. He played at Oklahoma before spending the first 10 years of his NFL career with Minnesota, which drafted number 7 in 2007. Second in 7 months. There's an issue there that's
a problem.
That we don't know about. Hopefully it has nothing CTE related. With that, which making him, just like maybe he only had a couple, but that mixed with other, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm just trying to.
If you're at a gas station in Sugar Land, Texas, and you don't know how you got there, that's not good.
No, it's not good. I know we always say when you're on the NFL, like you're having those big contracts, like hire a driver, like we don't understand that. Peterson, I don't know his financial situation. I know he got paid a good amount of money while he was in the NFL, but I don't know what he's doing now. You would think he could afford one. So that's what I always go to is if you are Adrian Peterson level, which, you can look up how much he got paid. And unless he's blown through all of that, which I doubt he has, but who knows, you should be able to at least afford a driver if you are going to partake in those type of things on that. So come on, Adrian. Come on, man.
Be smarter about it.
Come on, man. Because that ain't a 2. Of his, if you don't know where
and one time you can be like, I made a bad mistake. It's a stupid mistake, but I made a bad mistake. But 2 times in 7 months, that's not just a mistake. That's a problem.
Yeah, you might have a court telling you to go talk to someone, unfortunately.
Yeah.
In that situation. All right, so you ready for basket? That's right. The NBA is going on. The WNBA just finished up, but we're still going to talk about it because of
Basketball all year round, baby.
Yeah, on that. But Jaylen Brown, he had a hair smudge going on.
Just a little. Let's watch.
Did Jaylen Brown's hair just rub off on OG Anunoby?
84-65. The foul called on Shemet. Brown fades away and hits the back of the iron.
Did Jaylen?
Yeah.
Bro, just get some setting spray or something. I don't know. Like,
Well, Jaylen Brown, I think, went live or something last night about that whole thing. Like he had I don't know, but whatever. I did kind of laugh though because my buddy posted like his little like going live or whatever, and it's has clippers and everything. I don't know if it was fake or anything, but I did say like if he was doing a stream about getting a haircut, I said sponsored by DraftKings because the next story is hilarious on that. I couldn't resist. On that, but as far as being like we don't realize how good this player is until it's gone. Wemby's a problem. People are like he's an alien or something. Obviously not, but it's just what he's doing is unreal.
yeah.
He's the first player in NBA history with 100 points and 15 plus blocks in the first 3 games of a season. In San Antonio's overtime win against New Orleans, Wemby was 1 block away from a triple-double, scoring 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 blocks. And if you're watching him, he'll dunk he made Anthony Davis look like, the uncle versus the nephew when the nephew's 12. Like and just blocking them at you've seen Billy Madison when he just like wrecking those third
Or
graders.
professional players against kids when kids are shooting and they
yeah. Remember like that one video of Shaq like playing again with the kids and he's just sitting there just standing there and swat like it kind of looked like that, but that was Anthony Davis. That dude's like 7'1", but he does that, then gets the ball, dribbles down the court, and then just takes it and goes between the legs and then shoots a 3. I'm like. What are we doing? Like this dude's got ball handling skills, but he's got a 7-foot stroke like Dirk, and it's wrong. But
yeah.
Shout out to him. Speaking about players that are really good, LeBron. Do you know who he is? I think it's like the first time we've talked about him on our show. But no. It doesn't look good. He doesn't look good in the recent release of a book, A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers by Yaron Weitzman. We got a little video about it.
You ready for sports gossip?
Hit me, sister.
Okay, Snooki. So we have a Boston Harbor's worth of tea about LeBron James that needs to be
I feel
discussed.
like LeBron's always low-key drama.
Yeah, because the NBA, more than like any other sports league, is like a big high school, and all the players are like high school cookie batches.
And LeBron is like Regina George.
Well, according to this book that just came out, he's actually giving more like Amanda Bynes from Easy
So like Two-Face.
Like there's literally an entire chapter of this book that's just Russell Westbrook ranting about how fake LeBron
Okay,
is.
deets, please.
Okay, so Russell Westbrook joined the Lakers in 2022, and from the beginning, like you could just tell it was not a good fit.
They didn't mesh.
And Russ just got like super annoyed at LeBron because like to the media, he would be like, me and Russ are besties. But then like behind the scenes, he was trying to get him traded.
Hashtag fake AF.
And like to be fair, Russ that season was like Riverdale season 4 unwatchable. And LeBron being fake isn't exactly like breaking
Okay,
news.
gotcha.
Like whenever he knows that there's going to be paparazzi around, LeBron always makes a shot of like holding or reading a book.
Like Trashy Beach Read, Harry Potter.
Well, actually, there was a period where he went through all the Hunger Games
He's
trilogy.
such a District 2.
But usually it's something like deep, like The Art of War or Malcolm X's
Are you
biography.
saying that the Hunger Games isn't deep?
But then someone noticed in all the pictures of LeBron reading, he's literally always on the first page of the book.
Somebody get this man an Audible subscription?
Also, Russ spilled about this one time where the Lakers invited Will Smith to come speak
That's
to the team.
a choice.
Yeah, especially since this was 6 months after he slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars.
No.
So when LeBron heard that Will Smith was coming, he was like, yeah, no, I'm out of here, and just like
He's
left.
ditching class.
But then the Lakers coach went out and he was like, oh, you can't just like leave.
Bell doesn't dismiss you, I do.
And then when he came back, he did like a total switch and just became like a little kiss-ass brown noser.
Me when the flight attendants are giving a safety
Like
demonstration.
after Will Smith was done, like inspiring the Lakers to get jiggy with it or whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
Like LeBron wouldn't let anyone else ask any questions. He was just being a pick me. He was just like,
Bullshit.
meanwhile, he was trying to leave earlier.
Will Smith catching strays. The book's not even about him.
Okay, are you ready for sports?
The fact that I don't know Riverdale makes you realize why I'm not the target audience of who they're doing the gossip thing for. But yeah, those videos are always good. Yeah, and as far as who do you know who they are? So we can give them a shout out. I know. I know there are a couple.
Yeah, I don't have the name yet, but They're great. We'll leave a link to them down below when we find it. Yeah, and their name is escaping me at the moment.
But Weitzman alleges that the Lakers organizations threatened to sue him to prevent the release of his book. During the writing process, Weitzman said the Lakers hired defamation lawyer Marty Singer to handle their dealings with him. Singer claimed Weitzman's reporting was full of thinly veiled misogynistic smears, revealing a chauvinism and negative bias that undermines the reliability of his sources. So what we really need to do, we're just to foreshadow of someone that we're going to talk to later. We need a Pablo Torre finds out.
No, we need a Pablo Torre finds out. Is Yaron Weitzman full of shit?
Yeah.
Or is LeBron?
Right. But that being said, the whole book thing is they asked him one time, he's reading The Godfather, and they were like, he's like, you read The Godfather? He's like, yeah. And they're like, what's your favorite part? He's like, the whole thing, man. He's like, dude, what's your favorite quote? He goes, all of them. Like, you could just tell, like, LeBron, just say you didn't read it. It's okay.
That's like when Trump was like, I love the Bible. What's your favorite verse? Goes, I love the whole Bible.
Yeah.
The whole Bible is my favorite.
Right. Yeah. Or like Jamarcus Russell is one of the biggest busts of all time. He's known. The coach gave him a DVD with plays and says, here, watch this. Then come back the next day and let me know which plays you liked. And he was like, which ones you like? He would say all of them. He was like one, he's like two. He's like, no, I like all of them. The DVD was blank. So there you go.
It's good. It's good. But I want to talk about my Heat for a little bit because you know what? They're doing good. I did talk about
You're
how
Heat adjacent. I do like me some Miami Heat.
I know. Before last week I was like, we did lose all of our games and the only team to lose all our games in the preseason. And Tushka was right. This preseason, you don't need to worry about preseason. No. We're doing good. Ever since Terry Rozier got arrested, which we get to. Don't worry, guys. We will talk about it. The Miami Heat have not lost. The Heat are known for good defense. They have shown themselves to be fun to watch offensively this year, and they are ranked in I think second right now in pace in the NBA. Mm-hmm. What? The Miami Heat? And then if you guys watch the WNBA finals or just the playoffs in general, they said multiple times that Asia Wilson has been training with her boyfriend, Bam Adebayo, who plays for the Miami Heat in the offseason. And if they were showing videos side to side of a lot of the moves being very similar between both Bam and Asia. So reversely, I'm going to say training with Asia Wilson may have made Bam an even better player because Bam is playing really well. And so I think Bam made Asia better, and I think Asia made Bam better. And if that's the case, that's scary.
Yeah, I can't wait for Love and Basketball 2, the Asia and Bam story.
Asia and Bam story. And then I just want to shout out Norman Powell. He's really good, and we got him for a steal. So thank you.
Yeah. And it's weird. Pat Riley is good at the front office thing, and Spoelstra's good at the coaching thing. It's weird how this Heat culture thing still kind of works. Like they might not have the best roster, which they showed last year, but they still will make the playoffs, and they could make things interesting. Which when Hemi had his head on straight, he was Hemi.
And then Tyler Hero has been hurt, and we're still playing really well. So we're gonna get him back, and then he's gonna come back into the roster, and then And I think he's going to have a better attitude about it than Jimmy Butler. So, it'll be interesting to watch the Heat this year. I'm very happy with them so far.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much of a step up Jalil Ware makes as well, because I liked him coming out of college. He was fine last year. I knew he wasn't like, oh my gosh, he's going to be like a Cooper Flag or something, what production you're going to get, or a Kyrie or something like that. But it was just a solid draft pick. And I was like, if Spoelstra can get a hold of him and develop him, he could be something. And it seems like right now he's on that right track for where he's going. And then that just spells, hey, you did well in the draft on that. But speaking of Terry Rozier, and I know people have been seeing this all over. So guess what? We're going to talk about it because it's crazy. Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier arrested by FBI. Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones are alleged to have been involved with rigged poker games set up by the mafia. Terry Rozier is being alleged of rigging prop bets when he played for the Charlotte Hornets. Taken from ESPN articles written by Michael A. Fletcher, Shams Sharania, I just call him Shams. You all know him. He does stuff all the time. And David Purdom on October 27th. For Chauncey Billups, prosecutors allege that Robert Stroud, a 67-year-old Louisville man with a criminal history record, whatever you want to say, recruited Billups and Jones to take part in a rigged poker games run by members of New York City's most prominent crime families. Stroud recruited former professional athletes, including defendants Billups and Damon Jones, into the conspiracy to lure wealthy victims into playing in the games, according to a detention memo filed with the case. For their roles as face cards and members of the cheating team, Stroud paid them a portion of the criminal proceeds. Stroud, Billups, and Jones were among 34 people, including Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, arrested last week in connection with 2 overlapping investigations. Prosecutors says Billups and Jones helped cheat participants out of more than $7 million through the use of X-ray tables, high-tech glasses, and other futuristic tools. Billups' attorney has denied wrongdoing by his client. It is unclear why Billups and Jones got involved with mob figures. As federal prosecutors allege, Billups earned more than $100 million over his decorated career and nearly $5 million on a year as coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. Jones, a former journeyman player and assistant coach, earned more than $22 million during his 11 playing career. Continuing on with the illegal poker games, Pablo Torre, we alluded to before, he's to find out about LeBron, but right now he's finding out about this, has reported that a number of former pro athletes played at a private poker game in 2019, organized by those indicted by the DOJ in Operation Royal Flush. Okay, guys, we need to come up with better names. This is the dad jokes of just come up with something better, because I can't wait to get to the basketball, because it's a rich with just corny and cheesy. Those players allegedly included Kevin Garnett and Clippers head coach Tyronn Lue. A source close to Kevin Garnett told Pablo Torre that Garnett initially thought he was going to an after party, not a poker game, and then chose to leave said poker game. Per source, Garnett has not been contacted by the federal authorities, which would kind of be weird if Kevin Garnett's involved, because he was in Uncut Gems. So kind of weird how that all kind of – anyway. Sources told Pablo Torre that Tyronn Lue was at the same poker game, but say that Lue did not play at the same table as Chauncey Billups. Pablo Torre also reported that Pro Football Hall of Famer and former Chargers tight end Antonio Gates hosted and played in an allegedly rigged Miami poker game. Sources told Pablo Torre that the poker game was organized by Curtis Meeks, who was indicted by the federal government on Thursday, October 23rd. For Terry Rozier, prosecutors allege Rozier of conspiring with a childhood friend in a gambling scheme centered on prop bets on his statistics from a game on March 23rd, 2023, when he was with the Charlotte Hornets. Rozier, according to the indictment, told co-conspirators Deniro Laster that he would be leaving the game against the New Orleans Pelicans early. Later sold the non-public information about Rozier's status to gamblers for approximately $100,000, according to the indictment. Sports books in multiple states detected unusual betting interest on the under on Rozier's statistics ahead of the game, and enough unexpected betting came in that many sports books halted betting on Rozier ahead of the game. Rozier left the game after playing a little over 9 minutes, citing a foot injury. After these arrests, the NBA is reassessing its measures on legal sports betting, how it should be regulated, what types of bets should be allowed, and the best way to protect players from the dire risk that gambling can impose upon their careers and livelihoods, according to a league memo obtained by ESPN Monday, October 27th. The memo was sent out to all 30 teams, with the league writing that it is reviewing policies regarding injury reporting, training and education of all NBA personnel, and safety measures for players. While the unusual betting on Terry Rozier's unders in the March 2023 game was detected in real time because the bets were placed legally, we believe there is more that can be done from a legal/regulatory perspective to protect the integrity of the NBA and our affiliated leagues. In particular, proposition of bets on individual player performance involve heightened integrity concerns and require additional scrutiny. The memo goes on to say, with sports betting now occupying such a significant part of the current sports landscape, every effort must be made to ensure that players, coaches, and other NBA personnel are fully aware of the dire risk that gambling can impose upon their careers and livelihoods, that our injury disclosure rules are appropriate, and the players are protected from harassment from bettors. Another wrinkle in this story is that the NBA was doing their internal investigation of Terry Rozier when he was traded to the Miami Heat for a 2027 first-round draft pick. Both the league and the Charlotte Hornets knew of the investigation, but it was not disclosed to the Miami Heat. So, Soul?
Both of these are bad.
Mm-hmm.
Very bad. But it's one of those where, like, one is worse morally, which that's the Chauncey Billups. Again, if it actually happened, we're going to use the words allegedly. We're going to use if these things were to have occurred after we go through all the legal process and all of that. The Chauncey Billups one is worse in my mind morally, but the Terry Rozier one is worse for the integrity of the game. The NBA looks really bad for clearing, and I don't know if clearing is the right word, but they did the internal investigation. They allowed for a trade to happen while the internal investigation was going on. That they did not let the Miami Heat know that there was an internal investigation on Terry Rozier. I think that if an internal investigation is happening on a player in the NBA, if that player is to be traded, then if that player is to be traded, then the team that is trying to acquire that player should be known of let known of the internal investigation. I don't think that's
there. You go. That's what I meant to do.
Thank you. So yeah, as a Miami Heat fan, we're doing much better now that he's not part of the team, but we also have lost a roster spot and we're still having to pay his contract. So that sucks for us. But I think that if it all goes through the legal process and Terry Rozier is guilty, then we should get we should get our first round draft pick back. I think that is only fair.
Yeah, the thing, first off, obviously, as a person who's seen Terry play so much because he played for Louisville, say it ain't so, Terry. Say it ain't so, man. You signed this big contract. Why? For how much money? Thousands? And you're getting paid hundreds of millions? Like, I understand taking, I'm pretty sure what it's looking like is he was taking care of his buddies.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have enough money to keep them on your payroll. Like, what are we doing here?
Also, taking care of your buddies is the biggest way to lose all your money.
Right. And it's just, anyway, Deontay Porter is now banned from the league for doing this type of thing. But he wasn't Terry Rozier level. He didn't get paid like Terry Rozier level. I mean, he was still getting paid. He was an NBA player, but he wasn't getting paid like that. But the thing is dude had a lot of gambling debts. It's not an excuse, but at least I can understand the motive. My brain can wrap around that. I can't wrap around risking all this for what?
Yeah. Or Chauncey Billups too.
Right.
Again, how much money he made and is making as the coach of the Portland.
You're a Hall of Famer who did the unthinkable and beat Kobe and Shaq and that super team. And with there in Detroit, you're God. You don't have to technically do anything and you'll be fine. I don't get where all this there, and with the mafia involved, maybe they did an offer he couldn't refuse, or some type of blackmail.
Maybe you got into debt with the mafia, which
That's
is
what I'm saying.
Why you fucking with them in the first place. But
Pablo
also Louisville playing it with a part in both of these stories. With the Louisville man and then Terry Rozier playing for Louisville. What's up with your city, man?
I don't live there. No. Yeah, Mayor Greenberg, come on, man. Figure this stuff out.
And then also the golfer getting arrested too.
Okay, why? I was trying to figure out that we have a mob problem in Louisville. I don't need to know about dumb police officers arresting the number one golfer and what he's trying to get to his tee time.
But yeah, Louisville.
Yeah. Hey, at least that guy will never be forgotten because the joke is in Happy Gilmore too.
But yeah, this is bad. This is really,
Yeah.
really bad. And
It's bad for Adam Silver.
Adam Silver's having a bad week. Because the Congress wants to talk to him now. And then also with all the WNBA, CBA stuff, like it's just not going well for Adam Silver right now.
Yeah. It's one of those things of like, you did an internal investigation. How? And you said, no, he did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But now he just got indicted by the FBI. They wouldn't be doing this if they didn't have at least some solid evidence.
And to like play a little bit of devil's advocate on the NBA side is that the NBA does not have the same power as the FBI to like when the FBI indicts, like kind of are forced to talk to them in certain ways. The way with their investigation, where like the NBA, they could go to Terry Rozier's buddies and try to talk to them, and his buddies could be like, "No, we're not talking to you," and they have zero power to make them talk. Yeah. Whereas the FBI has a different power. But still, if you have zero power to make anyone talk, you don't clear it. No. You just say it's inconclusive.
Yeah, you don't sit there and say he did nothing wrong. Yeah. What did you do? Say you got him in a room, was like, all right, Terry, did you do it? No. Well, he did nothing wrong. Like, what do we... And also, I was listening, Pablo was on one of the shows just kind of going over the case. And he was saying that the other thing with Adam Silver is he was the first of all the major sports commissioners to say, we need to legalize gambling. So...
And that's another problem that I have where, like, with the whole gambling thing, especially when it's players affecting their own teams, I fucking hate it. But you have players that get in trouble for gambling when they're betting on other teams or other sports or other stuff like that. And I have an issue that these teams and these leagues are having sports betting as a sponsor, and then the players then get in trouble for sports betting. And I found it so funny that when they were reporting this on ESPN, they very slyly took away the ESPN bet from the corner. Like they were like, maybe it's not a good look to have this on the corner when we're talking about sports betting with the FBI and all of this. And then the other issue that I have is, and this is more on just not even sports-wise, but you have politicians who then are basically doing the same thing, but with the stock market. And then you have players now doing this with betting, and it's just all unfair and all like very angering.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, no, we don't. I don't do the stocks. No, okay. Right. Sure.
We don't get extra information early to then have our spouses decide what stocks to get.
Now, yeah, which we don't cover that here on Sports Wrap It Up. You can look all over the internet and figure out what we're leading to. Again, allegedly. But
yeah, and this is an issue on both sides of the aisle too.
Yeah. It just obviously like they're gonna do for the if they're paying us, they're paying us, and most of the time they do. You're gonna have a lot of people not covered as much as Pablo is because Pablo doesn't work for anyone. He's at least got enough. He's independent now. I don't, And
Pablo, when he gets hyper focused on things, and if he hyper focuses on something, he's gonna get to the nitty gritty and keep going and keep going and keep going. And
I just want to know that person.
As someone with ADHD, like I'm like yes.
Yeah, I just want to know that first person that gets a call. And it's just like, hi. It's like Pablo Torre is like, jig is up, boys. Start shredding papers. Pablo Torre called. But yeah, no. This is insane because it's not the first time that we've had betting issues. Even before, it was much more accessible. And also for the fans, if a player doesn't hit your prop, don't
Leave them
threaten their
alone.
life.
Yeah. We're seeing this too much, like both on social media, but then at the fucking games too.
Yeah.
You're seeing people that play a lot of money for seats close enough to the court to then yell at the players like, "I need you to hit this so that way I can make my prop."
Yeah.
Leave them alone.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I sit there all the time and make jokes. Like there was one I needed a San Francisco. I'm talking fantasy football wise, but there's a player I needed. I was like throwing the ball, and every time they just give it to Christian McCaffrey, and I was like, "Ah, damn it, that succubus! He's taking all the damn balls. Someone take him off the field."
You're jokingly saying that in your
Right.
living room or your room. You're not saying it to the actual players.
Just he'll like cut his ass, like just jokingly say that. At the end of the day, he's awesome. It's part of it. It's part of
The amount of times that my family and I jokingly, when we had LeBron on the Miami Heat, anytime that he did something bad or like we'd be like, trade him. Or now, like with Messi in the Inter Miami, anytime Messi does something bad, which is rare, but he does every once in a while. No one's perfect. We're like, trade him. Useless.
Yeah. Useless. Get him out of here. Get the damn coach's son off the field. Yeah, those type of things. But yeah, there's awesome people that, I mean, just go on social media and just berate them for whatever reason. Just to stop doing that. But it'll be interesting to see how this story.
Weird.
Yeah, stop being weird. But it'll be interesting to see how this all shapes up. And definitely, if Adam Silver goes in front of Congress, that'll be interesting to watch. Because I don't think either side of the aisle is going to hold up on him.
Nah, this is bad news for him because he's gonna get it from both sides, and that sucks for him.
Because it's like conservatives, they don't like gambling. Most of them, as far as the religion and stuff. Trust me, I was born and raised in Kentucky. We had Churchill Downs, but yet they didn't want sports gambling because of religious aspects. Whatever, it's passed. But you get what I'm saying. Like, and then the other Democrats are going to be like, "Well, this is unfair, and you're ruining the sanctity and all that other stuff." So so he's gonna. There's no person is going to hold back on him.
Nah, it's will be fun to watch. Maybe.
It'll be interesting.
Interesting is the better word. Yeah.
How many times Pablo Torre's name will come up in that?
We shall see. We shall see.
Yeah, we shall see.
But again, as we said, bad week for Adam Silver, and part of that has to do with the WNBA. But let's talk about some good stuff first before we go into the WNBA CBA negotiations. And we got some coaches hired.
Mm-hmm. We did.
First up, Sandy Brondello has agreed to become the first head coach of the expansion Toronto Tempo. So she's going to Canada. Brondello received significant interest from multiple organizations before choosing Toronto. She has a storied history in the league, earning an all-star selection as a player in 1999 and leading the Phoenix Mercury and the New York Liberty to WNBA titles as a coach in 2014 and 2024, respectively. Brondello also coaches the Australian Opals national team, most recently leading them to a bronze medal at the 2024 Paris Olympics. We did a whole segment on Brondello's firing when it happened, and we'll provide the link down below if anyone wants to go watch that and see how we thought New York was being stupid. And then we didn't get to talk about this afterwards, but if you want to go watch the GM's post-year conference interview, whatever, press conference, he just sounded real dumb the entire time. And as a New York Liberty fan, don't like it. But
is his name Nico?
He's very close. I think they may be related. Then Seattle Storm, they hire Sonia Rahman as their new head coach. Rahman started out as an assistant coach in 2002 at Wellesley.
Got it.
Nailed it. College, and then went on to be the head coach of MIT women's basketball team from 2008 to 2020. From 2020 to 2024, she was an assistant coach with the Memphis Grizzlies, and then became an assistant coach for the New York Liberty in 2025. This will be her first professional head coaching job, so congratulations. And then the Dallas Wings hire Jose Fernandez as their new head coach. Fernandez comes to Dallas with 35 years of coaching experience, with 25 of those years as the head coach of the Women's University of South Florida team. During that time, he's earned nearly 500 career wins and guided more than 100 players into professional basketball careers, one of those players being the best mid-range player in the game right now, Courtney Williams. Quote, Jose is one of the most respected veteran coaches in women's basketball, said Dallas Wings Executive Vice President and General Manager Kurt Miller. He is a proven winner and has built sustained success for over 2 decades at USF. Jose consistently produces a professional players and is regarded as an excellent developer of talent. His colleagues from across the country constantly credit his teams for their preparation and grit while continuously raising the bar for success on the court. He is known for putting his players in a position to succeed. Lastly, as the game and WNBA continue to become global, no coach in this country has recruited and successfully coached international players better than Jose. I can't wait to partner with Jose and support his vision for our Dallas Wings, end quote. And then we have, quote, we will be relentless in our pursuit of excellence, approaching everything we do with elite standards and championship mindset. I couldn't be more excited to serve as your head coach and will work tirelessly to lead this organization to a level of success that both the Wings and the DFW community can be proud of, Fernandez said. Fernandez is also a longtime friend of Gino Auriemma. Heard of him? And Gino has recently talked about in an interview that Paige needs to step up and ask for the type of coach she wants to play under. And so after that interview comes out, his friend gets the job. So thoughts on these new coaches?
It's 25% what you know and 75% who you know. No, it's probably a good coach. You wouldn't recommend it. But I think the thing is expansion team made the playoffs last year. Won coach of the year, if I recall correctly, or at least
his expansion team technically this year
Golden State.
It's still,
Golden State. Did she?
I know we're saying last year, but it is this year because
it is this year. I mean, literally, the season ended like a month ago.
Yeah.
She won.
She won Coach of the Year, Natalie Nakase, and that was her first professional head coaching job. She was an assistant under Becky Hammond at Las Vegas.
Yeah. But I guess they were up by like 30, and then they still lost. It's whatever. So it's in expansion teams that we've seen in most professional sports. They end up like they do well with how they set up everything. The leagues have, I think, they smart up. I think hockey was like the first ones of this expansion team.
MLS is doing well with their expansion teams
because they're just like, they paid the money to get here, and we need to gain fan support. You know how you gain fan support? Winning. So they kind of set it up to where you can get good. You can at least put a good product out on the field, turf, ice, whatever. So if they're using the same model, obviously it looks like they are. It should be interesting to see how these teams. Obviously, it's once a year. It's not. Or how many teams rolling out this year?
So we get Toronto and Portland this year, and then it's like one every year for the next 3 or 4 years. I know Philly is one of them. We talked about it before in previous. But WNBA rapidly growing.
Yeah, but crazy that Sandy got a job. Who knew?
I mean, people thought she was going to get the Dallas job, which I would have loved her to be Paige's coach. I would have loved that. But I think it is very smart for that Toronto picked her up. And then also as she is not American. She is an Aussie. So she gets to go spend some time in Canada.
Yeah, there you go.
Another Commonwealth country.
Yeah. But, sometimes, as you're alluding to, maybe Paige wanted the person that Gino asked and not recommended, because at the end of the day, you want to make your star player happy. Unlike the other teams in Dallas, they actually did that. So
yeah. And as we said, he coached Courtney Williams at USF, and he has a focus on the mid-range game. And that is something that Paige is very good at, and something that is actually very important. And we're seeing a little bit of loss of the mid-range game in the NBA. It still exists in the WNBA, and I think that it should still exist in both leagues because
Yeah.
the mid-range game is important and it's good and it's a way to get points on the board and easier points on the board than threes.
Yeah. Watch Jalen Brunson and Maxey. They still do the mid range every once in a while. But yeah, three's more than two. So if you're going to take a high risk shot, might as well be where it's more points. So that's important. That's just how it is.
But you end up getting more points if you take low risk shots that are
Oh yeah.
the high risk.
I'm with you. I'm just saying that's why a lot of people hang out where you get more
I
points.
understand. Or is it that's why you have Bam Adebayo? He shot 3 threes in the first quarter in one game, and then the other day that gets the fourth quarter and he hadn't shot a 3 at all. And then he goes for 3, and Dad was just like, "Bam, we don't need you shooting threes."
No, we don't pay we don't pay you to do that. No, we pay you to do these other things. But coach, nothing. We pay you.
But doesn't look like the WNBA or the WNBPA will make an agreement by October 31st, which is the current deadline for the CBA negotiations. The WNBA have offered the players a 30-day extension to continue negotiations. A source says that the players might be willing to consider an extension under the right circumstances, but those circumstances have not been met. So earlier this year, they said if it has to go to an extension, we will agree to it, but it seems like there's been some bad faith negotiations happening. And so they will, if it's going to be continued to be bad faith, the negotiations, what's the point of extending it another 30 days?
Right.
So we will see if there is an extension because according to the WNBPA senior advisor and legal counsel, Aaron D. Drake, who said recently on the Athletics No Off-Season podcast that there will not be a new agreement by Friday. Quote, "We have worked hard to be able to say on Friday, we did it. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. In a dance, it takes two to tango, and it has been difficult to find a beat, to find a rhythm, and to find the same sense of urgency from the league, just to be frank, to get this done." The league has said that, quote, "the Players Association has yet to offer a viable economic proposal and has repeatedly refused to engage in any meaningful way on many of our proposal terms, and that it has offered an uncapped revenue sharing model that is directly tied to the league's performance." The union has countered these claims, saying the league has, quote, "run out the clock, put lipstick on a pig, and retread a system that isn't tied to any part of the business and intentionally undervalues the players. The fact that the league now wants to call any part of its proposal uncapped is precisely why its leadership, transparency, and accountability are being challenged right now," unquote. In support, the NFL Players Association released a statement today. Quote, "The NFLPA stands in solidarity with the WNBPA and its fight for collective bargaining agreement that reflects the players' undeniable impact on the league's growth. It's time for fair compensation, proper working conditions, and a future that puts players first." Now, the NFLPA would not put this out unless a majority of the NFL players agreed with this statement. So that is a big thing to be putting out their thoughts on that.
I mean, we knew this lockout was going to come.
Yeah.
I mean, all we needed, just look at as soon as Nafisa and the standing commissioner, as of right now, Kathy, had their little back and forth, it was like, oh, well, we're not going to have a WNBA season. Like, Unrivaled, what's up? I mean, that's just, and the fact that this was the most, you're bringing in, I know you took losses and stuff like that, but you're growing, you're getting expansions.
And the losses they have reported that it's very possible that they did not actually take any losses because they have not, the players have asked for the numbers and they haven't shown the numbers. They've just said what the numbers are. And it's one of those just like, okay, show me. So the players are asking for transparency and they're just not showing them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, you see this happening, and maybe they might have something to do with, they might want to also not be subsidized by the NBA anymore and let us do our thing. And maybe the powers that be don't want to give up that subsidy, that money there. So that might be part of it too. I don't know. No one was in the room when it happened. To quote Hamilton.
I don't think that's what the players are asking for. The players are basically asking for a revenue share. That's their main thing, and the WNBA, in accordance with the NBA, are not wanting to give that to the players. When the NBA already does that with the NBA Players Association. So it's weird that they are willing to make these agreements with revenue share with the men, but not with the women. And the quote from the league saying that the Players Association are not wanting to, like, that they have proposed stuff and the players are not taking those proposals. Obviously, those proposals are probably not good. They're not going to take a proposal if it's not good. And there needs to be compromise. The players aren't going to get everything that they want, and the league's not going to get everything that they want. But it seems that there's been no place for compromise, and the players have come out and said that, like, the stuff that has been proposed is laughable.
Yeah.
And so if it's almost insulting. And so I don't think we're having a league next year. Who knows for how long? And that's not good for the league. That's not good for the players, because I don't know, like, every time there's a lockout, it really affects.
It affects everything, but especially with the WNBA when they are really gaining this most
they're in a
momentum they've had.
trajectory. Yeah.
This is the biggest most momentum they've had since the league started 25 years ago. So, or maybe more than that. I don't know. I forget what exactly. I think it was like 25. But this is like ever since, the Lisa Leslies of the world, we haven't had this much exposure and everyone wanting to tune in and all this extra audience and stuff and getting expansions and players, commodities upgrading and all this other things. And then like that. And it's probably not going to happen. At least not until, the season, like the whole season. We did have an NFL. We finally did have an NBA season that one year, even though Kevin Durant was playing, flag football in Oklahoma City. We did not have a World Series, I believe.
Nope. The year of my birth.
Yeah.
No World Series winner in 1994.
Nope. And the Braves probably would have won it that year, and Tony Gwynn was on pace to break Joe DiMaggio's consecutive games hit record, and that got stalwarted as well. But the NHL, I think they got close to not having a winner, but I think they ended up pulling it off that one year.
But thoughts on the NFL players putting out a statement?
I mean, obviously the NFLPA backs legit things. Especially when they did have a lockout, but the lockout really didn't last very long. Is because, for one thing, $9 billion is, or like, billions and billions of dollars. And it's like, and you really do. Jeff Saturday at the time, I think, was the head of the NFLPA as far as a player. DeMaurice Smith, I believe, is the head of like the other side of it. I don't know if he's still there. But this is big because you have a lot more lawyers in the courtroom now. And so it's not just the WNBA, they got the big dogs as well. And they wouldn't take time out of their day to come publicly and back it, which means they're probably in supporting it. There's no telling what type of support. So they've got a nice person and they got a nice thing in their corner as far as the NFLPA is concerned.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see what the NBA PA does or says, if they say anything. But props to the NFL players.
Props to them. Also, update: Toronto takes Game 5, 6-1.
Wow.
Vlad Guerrero had himself a day. He had a home run, hit 415. On the other side, Ohtani went over. Freddie Freeman went over. Mookie Betts went over. Like, it just Not a good.
Kike got a home run.
Yeah, TK did get a home run. But yeah, let's see. And Ben
Interesting.
and guess who got the win? You Savage. So
Yeah.
he's gone 2-0 in the World Series on $57,000. Talk about a steal.
Talk about a steal. More of a steal than Norman Bell.
Yeah.
But that is all I have for the WNBA. I think we got some novelty acts to go to.
We do. It's a really cool one. Tell us
Mhm.
about it.
So this one, Kate Douglas, she broke the 50 second barrier in the 100-meter freestyle with a time of 49.93 seconds at the World Aquatic Swimming World Cup in Toronto. Speaking of Canada, this was a new world record and made her the first woman to ever swim the event in under 50 seconds. And to think about this, the significance is kind of like, when they talk about a 4-minute mile, or when men break 10 seconds in the 100-meter run. Like, this is very, very significant. This is very impressive. First woman to do it. The men have done it, but the fact that you have now Kate Douglas who's done it, like, hey, shout outs to her. And we have the moment that she did it.
USA. Suck it, Ledecky. No, Ledecky does. That's not her forte. Forte is long distance.
But yeah, congratulations to Kate Douglas there.
Yeah, she showed promise in the Olympics. She swam really well in the Olympics, but she's coming into her own now. And this is insane.
It is insane. It's absolutely insane. I think sometimes, as we said it earlier today, like, you don't really recognize the greatness that you're watching when you're watching it, but that is some greatness right there. But we got some other greats to talk about, Josh.
We do. Forbes released America's Most Powerful Women in Sports. The list has the likes of Caitlin Clark, Serena Williams, Coco Gauff, Asia Wilson, Simone Biles, Dawn Staley, Becky Hammond, Billie Jean King, Nafisa Collier, and Brianna Stewart for starting Unrivaled, Michelle Kang, and Claire Wu Tsai. Michelle Kang is the owner of 3 women's soccer teams across the 2 continents, the NWSL's Washington Spirit, OL Lyon of France's Premier League, and the London City Lionesses, promoted to the Women's Super League in May. She sees women's sports as good business, but is reserving some of her funds for philanthropy, with $55 million pledged to U.S. soccer for the development and research of women and girls soccer. Along with her husband, Joseph, Claire Wu Tsai owns both the Brooklyn Nets and the most valuable WNBA franchise, the New York Liberty. Come on, really? You gave up her? Anyway, number 1 on the list is Gail Benson. Gail Benson made history in 2018 when she became the only woman to own both an NFL and NBA franchise, taking control of the New Orleans Saints and New Orleans Pelicans after the death of her husband, Tom. The 2 teams now carry a combined value of $8.35 billion, while Benson herself has an estimated net worth of $7.9 billion. She has been central to the NFL's international ambitions, with the Saints becoming the first franchise with marketing rights in France and partnering with the Paris Musketeers of the European League of Football. Benson was also instrumental in bringing Super Bowl 59 to New Orleans, according to NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, who said in February that in business, philanthropy, and football, Gail is a leader, always advocating for the Saints in her native city. Yeah, sometimes it takes me a second to do Roman numerals. Okay,
Yeah,
but I got that.
I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
LIX for everybody at home.
But congratulations, Gail Benson, being named the most important woman in sports by Forbes.
You did it.
You did it.
Yeah. But really, Caitlin Clark didn't. What? Serena Williams? They do stuff?
Coco Gauff, Asia Wilson?
Coco Gauff, Asia Wilson? No.
Becky Hammond?
Dawn
Staley?
Really? How?
Yeah. So some great women there. And yeah, Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier first starting Unrivaled, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we shall. We shall see.
We shall see. But we got some soccer to talk about. So unfortunately, we did have a loss for the U.S. Women's National Team.
Anyway, go on.
Hey, we got a loss, but then we got a win. But we got to talk about the loss first. So, before the game, the U.S. honored Alex Morgan, and unfortunately for Alex Morgan, the game she is honored at, her teams don't win. This happened earlier this year with the San Diego Wave, they retired her number, and then the team lost their game. So I guess we're not allowed to celebrate Alex Morgan because then we lose.
We're always allowed to celebrate Alex Morgan. Should be celebrated every day, every game.
And then, yeah, Alex Morgan with her caps that she's had for the U.S. Women's National Team, 224. I'm not going to hand it over to Josh because if I did, he would talk for the next hour about Alex Morgan.
Yeah, save you all the sanctity of me shutting up right now. Continue.
Yes. So Portugal came into this match on a losing streak, and they really needed this win. So this is probably one of those games where one team wanted it more than the other. We just didn't look like ourselves out there, and Emma Hayes was disappointed in her post-game interview talking about the lack of togetherness in the team during the game. But we did get a score in the first minute, the 33rd second of the game. Let me see if we have it here, because things are out of order. We do not have it, but Rose Lavelle, she scored in the 33rd second of the game. And it was one of those, you have this in soccer where it's you score too early.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you'll have fans, like, if you score like in the first minute of the game and fans are like, ooh, we scored too early. It's like, you should be happy that we scored. It's just like, no. We scored too early.
Yeah, that happened in a World Cup against Ghana where Clinton Dempsey scored like in the first minute of the game.
Yeah.
But I got the Rose Lavelle thing. There we go.
Here's Kat Macario racing forward down the left side and cutting in along the edge of the area. Macario trying to slide it through for left.
Nice turn.
Just 33 seconds.
Yeah, it's about what Clinton Dempsey did against Ghana.
What a start from the United.
Yeah. So, yeah. You know, one of the most things I hate saying is, we needed a loss. Bull crap. You're supposed to win everything. Whoever says that is stupid. But that being said, sometimes it's like
Portugal needed a win.
Yeah, and it's like you can get beat as far as Emma is concerned. Like, you cannot take anyone lightly. You have to be focused every game like it is the last game you're ever going to play. And obviously I have faith in Emma. But I don't like losing. And don't give me that, you need to take a loss every once in a while. No, we don't.
Hey, but we played Portugal again, this time in Connecticut. So the first game was in Philadelphia. So I guess we just didn't like the city of brotherly love there. We went over to Connecticut and we won 3-1 there against Portugal. So a much better outing. But before the game, this time we honored Alyssa Nair in her home state. So I guess we're allowed to celebrate Alyssa Nair because we win when we celebrate Alyssa Nair. So luckily for this game, again, we turned it around. We played really well. So it was a fluke. The other game was a fluke. But this one, we also had we scored too early moment with Olivia Moultrie scoring in the 44th second of the game. And here we are.
It's cleared away as far as Lily Johannes. Johannes pushing that one down to the right where it's hooked in towards Alyssa Thompson, who couldn't quite get there. And then driven in for the opening goal. Inside the first minute again, Olivia Moultrie has it.
Yeah. So, scoring in the first minute, it's just like, oh no, is this going to be a repeat? But no, it wasn't a repeat because Olivia Moultrie then scores the second goal in the 10th minute.
Johannes with a high ball forward. Shaw, little the back heel. Moultrie driving it across goal! Inside the first 10 minutes, 2 goals for Olivia Moultrie, 2 goals for the United States. They are back in front.
And then we get a goal from Sam Coffey in the 82nd minute, so a little later in the game.
Sentinel with the delivery, it's a low one, and it's hooked in by Coffey. Sam Coffey with the impact as the substitute.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Magisterial. Both of these players play for Portland, so Portland was responsible for all the goals in this game. So congratulations to Portland.
Mm-hmm. I guess,
And
maybe.
congratulations to the U.S. women. And they also played New Zealand tonight. I think that game is over score check.
6-0.
6-0.
United
We
States.
beat the Kiwis. So that's more of the score line that you like, right, Josh?
Yeah, Emma Sears had a hat trick. Katarina Macario had 2, and Roosevelt had 1.
There we go.
So Emma Sears hat trick. Thoughts on that?
Oh, I like it. I like Kat Macario getting goals, and then Roosevelt. He just has to get one in.
I mean, yeah, she's consistent.
Get a soccer.
She's the glue. She's the glue until Trinity Rodman gets back and Sophia. Yes, I'll mention her.
And
Emma Hayes.
And the one that you guys always forget in the triple espresso, Mallory Swanson, wife of Dansby Swanson of the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah. Shout out to her as well. But Emma Hayes just needs a healthy Trinity Rodman.
Yes,
one day.
Trinity, like the fact too that, and Sophia just had her baby, so I hope that she comes back soon. We'll see what the timeline is there. Mallory Swanson has not had her baby yet, so she will be a little bit of a longer timeline. And then the U.S. Women's National Team, like side note, having a lot of babies. We got Alex Morgan, had Enzo, Becky Sauerbrunn just had her baby. Abby Dahlkemper is she's pregnant. I don't know if she's had her baby yet or not, but she's pregnant. And then Lynn Williams, now Lynn Biondolo, just announced that her and her husband are gonna have a baby. So like 20, 40 something, we're gonna have a great squad for the U.S. Women's National Team or men's national team. We got some boys.
It's like the soccer team went to their husbands is like, look, I'm gonna get really into training, so if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this now.
And do it at the perfect timing when you still got some time for the 2027 World Cup.
Yep.
But the U.S. women were not the only ones who played. We got some playoffs. MLS playoffs are going on right now. So the playoffs have started. If you want to see how our brackets are going, go check out Bracket Bitches episode where we finished up the WNBA playoffs and congratulated Drunken Prayer on having a perfect bracket by rolling some dice. Congratulations.
Clack.
But then we also show our MLS brackets, and some of us are doing good. Some of us are doing good so far. So we had the wild card matches. Chicago Fire beat Orlando City 3-1. Portland Timbers beat Real Salt Lake 3-1. Congratulations, Chicago and Portland. You won the wild card match, and now you have to face the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
That's always, whenever you win a wild card match, it's always just like, yay and crap. But hey, you're in it. You are in the playoffs.
You're in. You have the best chance to beat that number 1 seed out of any teams playing right now because you're playing them.
You're playing them. So round 1, for those who don't know, round 1 is a best of 3, whereas the rest of the playoffs are single elimination games. MLS moved to this format, so every playoff team would get at least 1 home game. The format's still a little wonky, but hey, it's Major League Soccer. Major League Soccer can be a little dumb, be a little wonky sometimes. It is what it is. We love it anyways. First up, and the team we're going to talk about the most because it's my team, and it's also the team that Lionel Messi plays for. But it was my team before he got here, guys. I'm not a bandwagon fan. Inter Miami beat.
Okay.
It's true.
You know what I say to that?
It's not allegedly because my family has had season tickets since inauguration. But Inter Miami beat Nashville SC 3-1. I attended this game and it was a lot of fun. Before the game, the commissioner, Don Garber, awarded Messi the 2025 Golden Boot Award for the most goals by a player in the regular season. And he got booed by the fans. And I turned to my dad and I said, you got to boo the commissioner. And my dad repeated, got to boo the commissioner. It is rules in sports. When the commissioner is there, you got to boo him.
Mm-hmm.
Messi had 29 goals in the regular season. Denny Bwanga of LAFC and Sam Surridge of Nashville FC had 24 each and were in the Golden Boot race with Messi during the year. And it was kind of funny that Messi got the award right in front of one of the guys he beat. So that must have hurt for Sam Surridge. She's like, I would have gotten it if it wasn't for the greatest player ever.
And their dog.
And their dog, too. But I want to see some goals.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Messi scored 2 goals with his first goal being a header.
Got to be perfect. Up to this point, actually has been good enough.
Messi out to Suarez. Suarez back to Messi! Just lethal. He uses his head this time. And Inter Miami take the lead in game 1. 1-0.
To put in perspective, Messi has scored 891 goals in his career, and only 29 of those goals have been headers because he a small boy.
Yeah.
And just look at this picture.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah.
It makes me laugh so much.
Yeah. That's his Jackson Dart, like torpedo.
Air Messi.
Yeah, that is Air Messi for sure. But yeah, no, I mean, he had such separation. Like, I can't believe no one was on him like glue. Like, what were you watching to get that?
Even when they're on him like glue, he can still find a way to score.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me because he's a short king, but he also is just so good with the ball that he typically just takes it himself. He's never really the recipient in that situation like that.
But yeah, the the fact that this is his 29th header goal out of his 891 goals.
Yeah, insane.
Our short king.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of soccer players are short kings, so it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next up we got Tadeo Allende. He scored in the 62nd minute.
Messi forward to Frey. Frey floating it. Allende! Miami double their lead. 2-0.
Hey Josh, do you see me in the crowd?
Yep, there you are.
Palacios goes down with the hamstring cramp, has to come off. Now Nashville for 2 minutes has to defend down a man. They haven't been real clear with their responsibilities. Great run forward from Ian Frey.
Now, a header from Tadeo Allende makes more sense than a header from Messi, but he had 2 header goals in this game. And then last up, we have Messi score a tap-in goal in stoppage time in the 90+6th minute.
Silvetti finds Suarez. Jordi Alba. Miami trying to eliminate any doubt about who's going to win game 1. Willis. Oh, it's right there from Messi. It's a brace for Lionel Messi. It's 3 for Miami. And
he's like, thank you, I'll take that. Thank you for your mistake.
Ooh, I saw you again. We showed the crowd. Saw it.
Yeah.
Remind me again, what ownership does Beckham have with you all?
Beckham he's partnered with the Moss Brothers, who the Moss Brothers own Moss Tech.
Okay. Yeah. Does he still have
other stuff.
anything to do with Galaxy then?
No.
Oh, okay.
And then because we were given 11 minutes of stoppage time, but this game went like 12 or more minutes over the 90 minutes. Former MLS MVP and Goal to Boot winner Hani Mukhtar scored the last goal in the 90 plus 12th minute. Unfortunately, it was a little too late for Nashville.
Here's Hani Mukhtar. Gets it over the wall. Oh, a spectacular goal from Hani Mukhtar. It won't change the result.
And you can tell from his face, he's still not happy because it's too late.
But it might change the vibes, might change the psyche of Nashville heading into Game 2 next week.
Well, the 2022 MLS MVP delivers a brilliant moment here. There's only 4 players in league history in a 3-year span to have 50 goals, 30 assists. Hani Mukhtar is one of them.
What a beautiful shot. But yeah, I mean, it was just, hey, at least we didn't get shut out. So
yeah. You took away a clean sheet from Miami. So we shall see how game. Unfortunately for Nashville, I think we're gonna win in 2 games. I think we're gonna win in Nashville because they were our last team that we played against in the regular season, and we beat them 5-2 in Nashville, and then now we beat them 3-1 at home. So
you're telling me there's a chance?
We shall see. Sorry, Kelly. I know you're
yeah.
rooting for Nashville. Go watch our bracket, bitches.
Mhm.
And then Philadelphia Union beat Chicago Fire in penalties. The game was level at halftime. And then former Inter Miami player Indiana Vasilov opens up the scoring in the 70th minute for Philly. And then they scored again 5 minutes later. My dad literally turned the game off, going, "This game's over." And we switched over to watch the Miami Heat game. And then we also switched to go watch the Steelers Green Bay. We're like, oh, let's go watch Aaron Rodgers play some football. And then my little brother says, Chicago tied the game. And we're like, what? So then we switched back to the game to watch the penalties. And unfortunately for Chicago, Philly did ultimately win. But I'm going to give Chicago credit for their never say die attitude. You're the 8th seed playing against the number 1 seed, and you're down 2-0, and you still come back to force penalties. So that's commendable, and you get a home game now, and who knows what's going to happen. Maybe you can force it to a 3rd game, and then when you force it to a 3rd game, you never know what's going to happen. You may take out. It may be like Inter Miami, who we won our first game and then lost our next 2, and we were the Supporters' Shield winner, and we went out in the first round. Philly is the Supporters' Shield winner. Can Chicago take out Philly? Right. We shall see. We shall see. For everyone else, Vancouver Whitecaps beat FC Dallas 3-0. San Diego FC beat Portland Timbers 2-1. Portland did get a red card in the 66th minute, but I believe all goals were scored before that red card. FC Cincinnati, sorry, Josh, beat the Columbus Crew 1-0 in the Hell is Real derby. Minnesota beat Seattle Sounders in penalties after a 0-0 draw. NYCFC beat Charlotte FC 1-0. And then we have the LAFC versus Austin match. Score check.
1-1 in the 66th.
Okie dokie. So this may be going to penalties if team doesn't score.
All right. Guys in Columbus, figure it out.
I mean, it would be better for Inter Miami if Columbus Crew were to win, because then Inter Miami would be the home game.
It's better for the nation if the Columbus.
But I think FC Cincinnati's gonna beat them. FC Cincinnati's been better this year.
No. Okay, we can't allow this travesty. There's guys, there are fine people in Cincinnati. You shouldn't have. You just
I
okay.
mean, you root for a team in Cincinnati.
I know. That's why I said there's fine people in Cincinnati. I didn't say all.
You just don't like their soccer team.
You're my nemesis.
They are your nemesis. I think even though out of all the sports, I think soccer is lower on the totem pole than some of the other sports, but I think your greatest nemesis is in soccer, and that is FC Cincinnati.
Seems
And
that
that
way,
is
doesn't it?
hilarious to me.
No, my biggest nemesis of all time is the University of Kentucky, as far as
Sure.
sports are concerned. But as far as professional sports, kind of seems that way.
Yeah. But any thoughts on the playoffs?
No, for our all inclusive thoughts, obviously tune into Bracket Bitches that we have going on. We'll keep you posted on when we're doing that. Is it going to be Friday? We don't know yet. I don't. Yeah.
We're gonna wait until the best of three, so that's 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we have the first week done. So
yeah, we'll kind of go over all of that. We'll still keep it up going on this show, but we probably won't go deep dive into the games as much because we like to talk about the other sports.
except for in Miami, we'll go deep dive into that.
Well, yeah. Obviously, like we do have biases here.
Yes.
We have nemesis here, so we might give a little more time to those teams, even though one shouldn't. You be in the league, but that's what's here and there.
Yeah. But that's all I have for soccer. Ready to light the lamp. So this is going to be short on the NFL game side. We actually got some sad news. Sad is the wrong word. Some bad news later that Josh gets to have fun to read about, and I always force Josh to be the ones to read it, and he loves doing it. He loves reading names and reading about people doing bad stuff. That's his favorite thing to do on this show.
Me, it's just that's what I'm here for.
But first up, the Panthers, they did break their losing streak last week against the Bruins. And then immediately lost the next game to the Sabres. But then we beat Vegas. But then we immediately lost to the Penguins in a shootout. So we're still 500 with 11 points. So, I mean, we're not below 500.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. The Preds broke their losing streak, beating the Canucks and the Kings. Then losing to Tushka's Stars and the Lightning. So they're sitting at 10 points.
We're not in last.
Not in last. And then the Stars lost to the Kings and then broke their losing streak, beating the Hurricanes, Josh's Preds, and the Capitals, sitting at 13 points. So they're now on a winning streak. And Tushka's not here to gloat about his team being on a winning streak.
No.
But any thoughts about your Preds?
We're old. I don't like our coach, but it's early in the season, so we can definitely turn it around. I mean, the Reds messed around and made the playoffs this year. So if the Preds can make the playoffs, all it needs is a shot, see the tape.
It's the Reds, but one more letter.
Yeah, pretty much it. Well, it's a lot more name than the Predators.
Yeah, but yeah.
I know it's like Preds. It's like who you like? Preds, Reds, Cowboys. Yeah,
the Creds.
Yeah, the Creds. Right. On that,
the
Cruds. The Cruds. Yeah, but before I get into people doing dumb stuff, allegedly, before we went live, we did both kind of discuss about a sad thing, but a great person doing a great thing for a friend in such a tragic situation. Brad Marchand was up in Halifax, I believe, coaching the U18 team because the person that typically would be coaching. I do not know the person's name, so I apologize because it literally just came to my knowledge before we went live. But it was good friends with Brad Marchand, who was a coach of this team. Unfortunately, tragically, his 10-year-old daughter passed away, and so Brad basically stepped in as the coach, which how much of a fans us two are, and of Brad Marchand. I know he's rad on the ice, but we always talk about how cool and great he is off the ice. There hasn't been any stories to show us differently to sway my opinion on that, and that just adds to Brad just being awesome.
And him going back to, he's from Nova Scotia, so him going back to his community and like is not just helping his friend but also helping the community by coaching this team. Just good guy, man. I'm so glad we have him on my team.
I know. Yeah, you'll just embrace every game you have, because who knows with Brad, and because he's 38, so
yeah,
he's up there on that. But go ahead and put on the ticker as I go through here of all the opinions. This will be allegedly, okay, and kind of a trigger warning for anyone out there. This is a kind of a touchy subject, so I always like to give the heads up of. We're going to be talking about some delicate things, so this might be something that would trigger you. If you do, please, this is your time to mute. Turn away. That's okay. But we wouldn't do injustice if we didn't bring these things to light, as we say all the time before we go into these things. So that is your trigger warning for that, because former NHL player Ryan Kessler charged with criminal sexual conduct over alleged incident with 16-year-old. Ryan Kessler, a retired NHL center, has been charged with 2 misdemeanor conducts of criminal sexual conduct in 4th degree, according to court reports. Kessler, 41, was arraigned Monday in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan courtroom, where he pleaded not guilty to the charges which were filed against him on October 23rd over events on January 1st, according to court records. His next court appearance, a probable cause conference, is scheduled for November 6th. According to the criminal complaint, both counts allege that Kessler engaged in sexual conduct with a 16-year-old child, quote, through force or coercion, and or had reason to know the victim was physically helpless. Police in Orchard Lake, Michigan confirmed Kessler's arraignment and said he was booked and posted $50,000 bond. The alleged incident was reported on January 2nd. The police department said in a press release on Tuesday. They released no other details. Ryan emphatically denies the allegation, is completely innocent of the charges. The charges are baseless, and he is prepared to fight them vigorously in court. His attorneys, Robert Morad, told The Athletic when he reached by phone Monday evening, as the legal process begins, we ask for respect for his privacy and for the integrity of the judicial system. We are confident when all the facts and circumstances are presented, they will be fully exonerated. The Michigan Amateur Hockey Association, the sports governing body in the state, has suspended Kessler from all MAHA and U.S. hockey activities. MAHA, I'll just say that right now because I don't want to keep doing the acronym. President Tom Barry told The Athletic, Kessler is in his 3rd season as head coach with the Little Caesars AAA hockey club, an elite Detroit area youth program. Kessler, a native of Livonia, Michigan, played for 2 NHL teams, the Vancouver Canucks and Anaheim Ducks, from 2003 to 19, and was a member of the 2010 and 2014 U.S. Olympic team. So, again, allegedly.
Yeah, not great.
That being said, you're letting this guy around other kids?
Yeah. Good on Michigan Amateur Hockey Association for suspending him while they let it play out.
Mm-hmm.
And
due process on that.
Turns out that he's guilty, I'm sure that he will be fully fired. And if it turns out that he's exonerated, then he can get his job back. But still not great.
No.
In all these things, it's like, I hope it's not true, but then it's like, I hope that people aren't as horrible as what we see in this stuff. But then if it's not true, that means someone came forward with a fake allegation, and that is also bad.
Yeah.
So it just sucks all around. And if it is true, fuck that guy. And I think I say this every single time. If it is true, fuck that guy. If it's not true, then that sucks for him to have to go through it. But unfortunately, more times than not, they do end up being true. And that sucks
Yeah, you
for
don't like it.
everyone.
You don't like it when an episode of Law and Order SVU becomes a real thing. So yeah, but we've seen Law and Order SVU not always end the way you typically think of those type of shows do. Hopefully this ends with justice, one way or the other, whether justice to the person committing the acts that they're accused of, and justice for the families that unfortunately had to go through that. Or if he didn't do it, I hope they love civil court because he is going to take them for a lot of money for coming up with this stuff and what other legal action. It's kind of how both, like, it's a lose-lose situation. Either we realize there's a monster in our world, or we realize there's a monster of Salem witch stuff. So
a monster of different proportions, but still not great.
No.
Yeah.
No. I forget
Like,
the picture.
I don't want to give like a false equivalency because like both are bad, but one is worse than the other, but both are bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
because it keeps other people from coming forward on that end, but then also I can't get my mind in those just sick people. Honestly.
Yeah, which is a good thing that you
yeah. Thankfully.
Thankfully.
Just that shivers every time I read. Every time you make me read these things.
Sorry, Josh. But you do such a good job at reading them that's why I give them to you. Unfortunately, you have another one to read.
I know. Capitals fire assistant coach Mitch Love after NHL suspension. The Washington Capitals fired assistant coach Mitch Love on Sunday afternoon after the NHL suspended him for the 25-26 season, reportedly for accusations of domestic abuse. The Capitals released a statement saying Love's firing was effective immediately. This decision follows the findings of an NHL-led investigation into past allegations. The organization is committed to maintaining the highest standard of conduct and accountability, the team said. In a statement to The Athletic, the NHL cited conduct detrimental to the league as the reason for Love's suspension. The league statement said Love will be eligible to apply for reinstatement for the 26-27 season, subject to certain conditions. Love released a statement through his lawyer, Josh Vlasto, on Sunday evening, denying the allegations against him. Quote, while I am disappointed by and disagree with the NHL's decision, I respect the process and accept both the league's findings and the Capitals' decision. I will continue to openly cooperate throughout this process. That said, I fully deny the allegations against me and look forward to returning to the sport I love as soon as possible. Love, 41, was popular candidate for NHL head coaching vacancies this past summer, interviewing with the Boston Bruins, Pittsburgh Penguins, and Seattle Kraken. He joined the Capitals in June 2023 and primarily worked with the team's defenseman on coach Spencer Carberry's staff. The Capitals finished atop the Metropolitan Division and advanced to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs last season. Sorry.
Yeah, this, again, not great. One thing that interests me is the NFL saying he will be eligible to apply for reinstatement for the 26-27 season, subject to certain conditions. What are those certain conditions? And if it turns out that he did domestically abuse his wife or partner, I don't know if it's a girlfriend or a wife, probably a wife, but I'm unsure on that front. But if it turns out that that is true, would you still allow him after time to come back to the NHL? What are those certain conditions? Can we get some clarity, some transparency on what, quote, certain conditions mean?
I don't know. It's quite the conundrum on that. But, like, if you said they did his time and, okay, they did their punishment, now they're back in the league. That being said, because, the whole Michael Vick thing, he did his time. He was back in the league after he got out of jail. People still don't like it that he was back in the league. But maybe that's where the conditions are. To them, he did enough time. I don't think he should, if this is true, then I don't think he should be around a hockey rink ever again. But
yeah. And as a woman, if someone is allowed to domestically abuse their partner and then after a certain amount of time come back as if nothing happened, that really speaks to where we place women in our society.
Yep.
And that doesn't sit well with me. So I hope that's not the case, or is included in the certain conditions. But that's the quote in the statement from the NHL that I have questions about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, Ray Rice never touched the football field again. That's the first one that popped into mind. As far as like, did the deed, bye bye.
Yeah. So there's just some certain things that I think that, and I do believe in rehabilitation, and I do believe in being able to come back into normal society after serving your time. But there are certain things that I think after you have done those things, you are not allowed to come back to certain aspects of your previous life. And this is one of them.
Yep. I agree.
But that's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Allegedly.
Well,
Allegedly.
opinions can't be alleged.
No,
right?
opinions are fine. I'm just making sure I say allegedly.
Right.
It's a very strong word when we talk about these things.
Now, going from those sad moments, and I'm gonna get a little weird.
Yes, please. Let's just get weird, because this is
Yeah, those were weird on a different front. We like to be weird on a happier front in this channel. Please, people, stop doing stupid shit, so that way we can be weird on a happier front more than often. Because this guy over here, he's really fucking weird. This person right here, I'm really fucking weird.
Yeah.
This channel right here, we're really fucking weird.
Yeah. Our Discord is really effing weird, but it's fun.
It's fun. Join down below.
Yep.
But you know who else is weird? Europeans who don't know anything about American sports.
It's kind of laughable more than weird, but it's weird nonetheless.
It's weird mostly because they make fun of us for certain things, and it's just like, look in the mirror, bro.
Yeah.
But the NBA is back on NBC, and NBC is also the home of the U.S. broadcast for the English Premier League. The host on the desk for the Premier League on NBC is always Rebecca Lowe, who also does the Olympics, and then a mix of Robbie Earl, Robbie Mustow, and Tim Howard, the only American. Unfortunately for this group, Tim Howard wasn't there to do the preview for the NBA, and so he was not there to, help out in previewing the NBA and saying the correct things. Tim, why'd you miss that day of work?
for the enjoyment of this, we're about to watch.
But our guys, the Cooligans, we'll leave a link down to them below. Go watch them. They're super fun. Dominican American, Cuban American, fellow Cuban. But our Caribbean people talking soccer, which usually Dominicans and Cubans, we're talking baseball. We're not talking soccer. So I love watching them. I love watching my people talk about a sport that I love. And they definitely went in to Robbie Earl specifically. Let's watch.
For the Celtics, okay. Be watching. All right, and I'm going to say light the beam. Do you guys know what that means? Light the beam. Well, if you're a Sacramento Kings fan, you will know. Light the beam is the phrase in Sacramento when they win a game. Not sure if they're going to win many this season. We'll have to wait and see. Swag. Yeah, drip, I think they call it. Drip? Oh, my goodness. Just give me a little twirl. Look at this. Look at this amazing jacket. We've all got one. Am I filling my jacket out? It feels big for me. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's your look. It's great. What are you looking forward to, chaps? NBA coming back to NBC. Well, Michael Jordan back in the day, Bex, 1989, was it?
Chicago Bears, Cleveland Cubs, the last shot they call it, like there's a couple of seconds to go, and the Bulls, and he just bangs one in with a couple of seconds to go, and like the celebration, the whole thing, just got me into basketball. Right?
Did Michael Jordan score a goal in soccer? Bangs one in with seconds to go against who? Against who?
The Chicago Bears against the Cleveland Cubs.
Oh man. Let me tell you, what a
injury.
in sports we still talk about that game.
The leader of the team. I think the expectations are a little lower
this is pause it. This is so. I mean, this is where so Robbie Earl, and as soon as this happened,
you saw the look on Robbie Earl's face, and he's like,
no, Robbie Musto is. I think Musto is a little bit more aware of what's going on.
Oh no, clearly Musto's like, yeah, I got this.
He's like, hey, let's talk about Jaylen
my
Brown.
Celtics. I watch y'all. I don't know about you.
I've seen basketball before.
Right. I know that the Cubs don't play basketball.
The Cleveland Chicago Bears. Robbie, we love you. We understand the mistake.
My man pulls
Chicago
sports teams.
Bears, Bulls.
Bam.
Bears, Bulls.
Do you have any idea how the Montreal Yankees, when they won the NBA Champions League, it was you.
So I understand that you can make that's a understandable mistake. Chicago, you meant Chicago Bulls, but you said Chicago Bears,
which is fair. You ain't from here.
You ain't from here. We
those are both Chicago teams.
I'm like, at least you got the same city.
Said, more Chicago.
You've been talking about footy for 12 hours of the last 2 days. But even when
his brain said Cleveland, his brain went more Chicago. Say Cubs. Say Cubs.
We gotta get all the Chicago.
The Cincinnati White Sox. His brain was just stuck in Chicago, man. His brain was like Chicago.
Robbie, we love you, bro, but Cleveland Cubs is crazy,
That's
bro.
crazy.
We can't let that one slide.
He had it until the Cleveland, oh God.
The Chicago Bears, which again, like as they say, sometimes like you're talking about a team, if you misstate one of the city's team for another team, like easy mistake to make. The Cleveland Cubs.
And you can tell when he went to him, he was just like, I've got this. I've rehearsed this.
I've got this. I've rehearsed this. I know what I'm talking about. When Michael Jordan banged one in, playing for the Chicago Bears against the Cleveland Cubs.
Chicago Bulls versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's
Bulls win. So good. So good. But yeah, the Cooligans, they don't just stop there. They go in on him just a little bit more. So let's watch.
But Robbie Earl delivered that like, Rebecca, thank you so much for asking me.
You know what? I haven't talked about this on television.
1989, I remember.
The moment I became a massive basketball fan. I'm at home. I'm wearing my New York Whitecaps jersey. That's my favorite basketball team.
Rebecca, let me stop. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm so excited to talk about this
in
right
fact,
now.
if we have the clip, play it. When Chicago Bears travels all the way to the Cleveland Cubs.
And he's just like describing. We all know the shot he's talking about.
I think he's describing a scene from Air Bud. I don't think this actually happened. I honestly don't think this happened.
I fully expected just like the reminiscing music to like going back.
Smoke machine.
Set the scene.
Yeah.
Let me tell you where I was when I saw the shot.
He's like, and then Michael Jordan went to his coach and said, hey, man, it wasn't a foul. And it's like, no, I think you're talking about the commercial.
Robbie, I think you're talking about the movie Space Jam.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Remember when they all held the orb? And they lost their powers. That was the moment where I was like, Robbie Earl might be going through a fever dream in the middle of this show.
And the best part of it all is
he's
just
like, Jordan passes to Maradona. Maradona passes back to Jordan.
La mano de Dios.
You know?
It was like, well, I was there.
And then Jordan, in the last second, Jordan, one of these joints.
Was that the end to the last dragon?
I think Shaolin soccer? What happened in your brain, dog?
Fighting. Wow, Robbie. Bro, again, all love. This was wild. And then again, nobody can address it because nobody knows exactly if he's right or
all right, man. You keep talking, bro. I got this. Anyway, Jason Tatum plays basketball.
I texted.
One of these.
One of these. I was like, what is he, Neo?
And as I alleged, so Brits make fun of Americans all the time, saying that we don't know anything about soccer. But first off, I have a whole rant that will take too long about the Brits and the term soccer and the term football and how they don't actually, anytime they make fun of us for saying the word soccer, they actually don't know their own history of the sport that they allegedly, using the word alleged again, allegedly invented, and so therefore they don't know ball. But whenever they make fun of us about soccer and then they turn around and do this.
There has to be a producer in their ear being like, no, it's Chicago Bears, Chicago Bulls, it's the Cleveland Cavaliers. Jordan didn't score. I mean, I guess it's a goal in a sense, but that's not the terminology we typically use when we
bang one in.
When we bang one in.
But yeah, thoughts on this mishap and our morning NBC Premier League soccer broadcast.
If you're gonna, hey, hire the best guys. You got the best of the best.
Hey, they are great when it comes to the sport that they know.
Yeah, and that's typically anything. Like, I mean, just taking someone out of their sport that they're really good at, and then put them on just taking I don't know, take Michael Jordan and put him on a soccer field. We know he can't really do well in the baseball field. It's kind of the same thing as like if you're just like shoved into this situation. I mean, you at least
talk about another possible gambling issue in the NBA when you went to baseball.
Yeah. No, hold on.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Don't. When you go, it's no. We're not. Nope. Sorry, Michael. We don't mean any disrespect, sir.
We don't need you to take that personally.
No. That's why I was. Oof. No.
But one of my favorites. So Rebecca Lowe. Every once in a while, you have to do an ad break because they are on NBC. So if like a game is playing, whether it's football or the Kentucky Derby or something like that, and then like the English, the D-E-R-B-Y, they pronounce it Derby. So my favorite is whenever she has to do the ad read for the Kentucky Derby, because she says Derby, but it sounds so wrong in her accent because the English say Derby. So it's great.
Yeah. Come on, guys. I know what offsides is in soccer. Okay, at least you can know the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah. More Chicago. But yeah, so that is our Europeans not knowing anything about American sports. But we also got Sports Meme of the Week.
Sports Meme of the Week.
And this one, as you alleged to, is you spoke his name earlier, Nico. We have apparently Luca was the problem, but this is what your team used to look like.
Hey man, they were having a good time.
Dirk and Steve were on another planet. Holy shit.
Well, here's the thing.
Can I have what they had?
Yeah, there was a guy named Dennis Rodman, and he left for Vegas. And Michael Jordan said, if anyone watched The Last Dance, Michael Jordan went to Phil Jackson and says, you let him go, he ain't coming back. Michael Jordan had to go get him, according to the documentary. So I can't believe professional athletes party and have pictures of them totally wrecked. Who knew?
Yeah, it's...
Well, Lucas spotted drinking a beer and is outside. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's... But yeah, just seeing these old pictures and just like the way they look.
Him and Nash.
I won championships. So
Yeah, well, Nash didn't, but he did.
Nash didn't, but he did. Yeah.
JJ Barea was the point guard on that one.
But yeah, it's too good. It is too good. Maybe this is something that makes me laugh more than our audience laugh. But
for those kids at home, this guy beat LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh on the same team. So if he can do that, sure, why not, kid? Even though he's like 40.
And my favorite picture, though, of him. So these pictures are great, but my favorite picture is him coming in with the plate.
Yeah,
that his wife made
with the aluminum foil over it. Yeah, like oh, it's like that DiCaprio meme. Like I know what that is. We've all relate to that.
Yes. But yeah, so that is what we have for Sports Media that week. Josh, where can the people find us?
People find myself and Justin Toner tomorrow. Break down everything that is the week of wrestling with Ruckus Wrestling at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. And then on Monday, you'll have myself and Tushka breaking down everything in the world of fantasy football. Everybody's being injured. This is stupid. Hopefully we don't have a bunch of blowouts because those game scripts really don't work for really good fantasy outputs. Also, Bijan and Christian McCaffrey, I'll take one off week. It better not be two in a row. And Baker, hopefully this bye week does well for you because you've not been playing very well the past 2 weeks on that. But you'll see us break down everything else at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern on Monday. And then following that, you get us again, break down everything else. Hopefully I don't have to read a bunch of bad news stuff, but you don't know because we cover only time will tell of this week. And at that point, we'll probably have a World Series champion.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. We shall see. But are you ready for the moment of Zen?
Yes.
Blue 40! Blue 40! Touchdown!
They did that in multiple dorm rooms, but those are awesome.
You make the tush push work for you.
Yes. Yes. There was another tush push controversy as well. They called the play dead, even though Jalen Hurts was still going forward and the guy ripped the ball out. Nor here, nor there. I don't see that tush push lasting, being around next year. The way it was boring. They did it 4 times in a row. It was boring as hell. And then this one, and they're not calling offside. So, long story short, they're going to ban it because it's just not fun to watch.
I think they should keep it because I find it's fun when it pisses so many people off. Yeah, that's fun to watch.
I get with that. Like if it's not illegal and one team just does it way better than everyone else, I understand. But it's just real boring to watch.
We could talk about it when they do make a decision on it or not. Thank you, Josh, for being here with me. Thank you, Tushka, for getting all the videos for us, even though you weren't able to be here on us. We miss you. Yeah. And then thank you guys all for watching. We shall see you next time. Bye. Bye.